dedication, and heroism, we can enjoy the freedoms we have today. Thank you, veterans. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We ask that you remain standing now as Moorpark College's own Betty Jean Hanna is going to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er ramparts we watched were so gently streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much. Please be seated now while we get a word of welcome by Moorpark College board member Bernardo Perez.
Not here. Not here.
Check that. We're now going to move on to our sophomore appreciation night, starting with our sophomore cheerleaders. Cheerleader from Moorpark High School, Gabby Fahrenkopf. From Simi Valley High School, Summer Fitch. From El Camino High School, Savannah Hernandez. From Vista Marietta High School, Michelle Pfeiffer. From Granada Hills Charter High School, Kenna Potter. From Rio Mesa High School, Alyssa Sanders. And from Moorpark High School, Jessica Santoya. Also a sophomore not present tonight, from Newberry Park High School, Nina Gonzalez. Congratulations to all of our sophomore cheerleaders. Continuing with our sophomore appreciation night tradition, in a few moments we'll be introducing those sophomores that are playing in their final game for the Moorpark College football team. Please stand by.
You go to school out here? What's that? You go to school out here? Yeah, I go here. I mean, where did you go before you came here? I went to City Valley, or I'm sorry, I went to Moorpark High School.
Oh, okay.
I live in City Valley,
This is it? Yeah, I mean, cheerleaders from Santa Monica? Must be.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 sophomore class from Moorpark College. Number 3, wide receiver out of Navarre High School, Cameron Mayweather. Number 5, running back out of Atascadero High School, Mark Martin. Number 15, quarterback out of Paraclete High School, J.J. Dearden. Number 17, strong safety out of Oaks Christian High School, Hayden Galvin. Number 25, running back out of Camarillo High School, Ray Thomas. Number 28, running back out of Palo Duro High School, Anthony McLean. Number 59, defensive end out of New Duro High School, Jalon Kitchen. Number 51, defensive tackle out of Oaks Christian High School, Cameron Townsend. Number 75, your center, Westlake High School, Fred Wise. Number 81, wide receiver out of El Camino High School, Cameron Prentice Brown. And number 90, nose guard out of Newberry Pike High School, Richard Watkins. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more huge round of applause for both the sophomore cheer squad and sophomore football team. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Mike Stewart pregame show presented to you by the U.S. Army, America's team. Visit them at goarmy.com. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to your coverage of Moorpark College football here on the Moorpark Raider live stream. My name is Ryan Ketchum, your play-by-play commentator, joined alongside Nick Federico, my color commentator analyst for you this evening, and we are here at Griffith Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders for the last game of the season, the last home game of the season for Moorpark College. They're going to be playing up against Santa Monica City College Corsairs. This game will be presented by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. So we're here at Griffith Stadium. Moorpark Raiders coming off of their first road victory of the season. They were able to take down Cerritos College at Cerritos last weekend. It was last Saturday, 25-21. So a close victory, but we'll take it any way that we get it. And it seemed like we looked very good out there. And now this game, one of the big highlights of the game, however, was the rushing offense out here for Moorpark College. The rushing offense has just been great this season. And going up against Santa Monica, the Corsairs, they give up just under 180 rushing yards a game. 180 rushing yards a game. I mean, that is just an incredible number of rushing yards that you're giving up a game. So what can that amount of rushing yards do for a team like Moorpark College that just relies so heavily on their rushing offense?
Well, I mean, when we talk about the run game, Ryan, we got a lot of studs. You know, we always cover, of course, Mark Martin, the leading rusher here for the Moorpark Raiders, and Eddie Mbata. But someone that we don't talk about as much and who is starting to come up for this powerful offense is Desmond Davis. This guy's only played 5 games, Ryan, and he's rushed for 238 yards and a pair of touchdowns. So Desmond Davis,
wow.
And not only that, he's by far the fastest kid on the field when he gets the ball in his hand. If you've watched some of our prior games here, whenever he hits that corner, he's gone almost all the time, Ryan. Very quick and elusive speed, so watch out for Desmond Davis. But along with Mark Martin and Eddie Mbata, what this run game can do is it can destroy a defense, and it can run all over. And with the weaker defense from the Santa Monica football team, they might have a lot of problems tonight with this run game, Ryan.
And one of the things that's special about the run game is it sets up the passing game. When you have a strong running offense, the defense, they're going to stack the box. They're going to put 8+ guys out in the box. They're going to send some extra guys. They're going to send some blitzes. So when that happens, that opens up the passing game. You guys like Tanner Darling. He is a great quarterback out here for the Moorpark Raiders, just under 1,300 yards passing on the season. But the stats don't really show what he can do. 9 passing touchdowns as well on the season. He is just a great quarterback. He's able to survey the field, but also he has some great receivers. We talked a lot about Vincent Corso, number 20. He has just under 400 receiving yards on the season. Just a great wide receiver. Cameron Prentice-Brown as well. But one of the players that we haven't talked too much about was Ryan Matlock, number 4. He only has 10 receptions on the season, not used too much in this offensive scheme, but he has been able to get about 185 yards receiving, just under 185 yards receiving, and he's just a great wide receiver. He shows that he knows how to run his routes properly, and he can get open. So I want to see Ryan Matlock getting some more reception in this game. You should be looking out for number 4 out there, because I know Tanner Darling will definitely be looking out for him in this game, especially if that rushing offense is able to get rolling like it has been. Riley Garrett, another star of the team, number 99, the kicker. I mean, he set a career high last week, a 46-yard field goal. He had a 44-yarder as well, but a 46-yard field goal, setting his career high for the second time this season. He is just a great player. What have you seen out of Riley this season?
Oh, Riley Garrett, I mean, he's Mr. Reliable on specialties, isn't he, Ryan? I mean, we've seen him multiple times hit it from 40 yards plus, and as the weeks and the years gone on, Ryan, he's just gotten better and better. We see him before practice, and sometimes, after practice. He sits here, especially before the game, too. He puts a lot of work in, and he spends about a couple hours, just before the game, just kicking over and over just to work on that leg. And we've literally seen him get better and evolve as the years gone on, Ryan. So Riley Garrett is something special for this Moorpark team to have.
And now, talking about the defensive end now, of course, we just talked about Riley Garrett in the offense. Now, the defensive side, what Santa Monica does have, they don't have that strong of an offense, but they do have a strong running game. They have 2 running backs that they use, at least the 2 running backs that they've only played 7 games this season, so they might not be playing in tonight's game, but those 2 top running backs, they have over 300 yards rushing apiece. That means the defensive line has to step up. They've been stepping up all season, but it seems like against these big-time rushing offenses, it's almost a hit or miss. It seems like Moorpark has been stepping up, however. So what are you looking to see out of the defensive line in tonight's game?
Well, in the defensive line, we got a lot of powerful guys up there. I mean, we got guys like Richard Watkins, Drew Mathis, some of these studs that have been coming in and week out and getting it done. So what I'm looking to see here is a lot of tackles for loss, a couple of sacks, and what they do better than most defensive lines in this league is they can disrupt the quarterback. We see that the quarterbacks don't have a lot of time, and the quarterbacks are not well known for running against this Moorpark defense. They are very good. This Moorpark defensive line is very good at shutting them down and not allowing the quarterback to get outside the pocket and not allowing them to put the ball where it needs to be, Ryan. So I'm looking for this defensive line to be very disruptive and not allow a lot of success in the pass game for the Santa Monica football team.
Well, it seems like Moorpark will have a great game tonight. This is Veterans Day weekend, so we have a big-time Veterans Day celebration, halftime, including some pregame shows. As you saw, they're giving out this specialty coin to all of the Moorpark College veterans that we have out here, all the students. They're also giving out a pass. This is an all-sports pass, so all these veterans, they could go to any game that they want for free for the 2017-2008 season, so it should be a great night tonight. We have Veterans Night. We have the last game of the season. It's also sophomore night. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to the Coach Mike Stewart pregame show presented by the U.S. Army, America's team. Visit them at goarmy.com. We'll be back in the booth in just a few moments for your coverage of Moorpark College football here on the Moorpark Greater live stream for the Moorpark Graders versus the Santa Monica Corsairs.
The Raiders had 30 scholar athletes with a 3.0 GPA or better and 3 with a perfect 4.0. The team's GPA in 2016 was a 3.04 and was the only football program in the state of California with a team GPA over 3.0. We remind everyone, Moorpark College is a smoke-free campus, and there's no smoking allowed in Griffin Stadium or on the campus itself.
Dedication and heroism, we can enjoy the freedoms we have today. Thank you, veterans. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We ask that you remain standing now as Moorpark College's own Betty Jean Hanna is going to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly
It's Veterans Day weekend. We're going to be supporting all the veterans in this game. We're actually going to have, as you saw, the pregame, we had a few ceremonies, and then also during halftime, there's going to be a few ceremonies for all of the Moorpark Raiders students that are in the military. So thank you very much for supporting the country and making sure that all of us are safe here. We are very thankful for all of the military members that we have here. Now here comes the opening kickoff. It's going to be received right around the 5-yard line, bringing it on the far sideline. He has some daylight in front of him. Breaks a tackle, cuts back to the middle. He's now on the near sideline, down to the 30. He has one man to beat to the 20 and down at the 15-yard line. Wow, that was a big-time return to start the game.
And that was a nice start right there. You saw that nice run back. Santa Monica sent the message early here that they're going to be running all over this Moorpark specialties team if they allow them to kick it deep. So right there, we've seen that Santa Monica is definitely setting the tone right now, Ryan. But knowing this Moorpark team, they are maybe just a little bit jittery here. It's the first play of the game, right? Last game for a lot of these guys here, so a lot of emotions are going through their head. Just got to play like they always play, settle down, and make these plays. But not a very good start for this Moorpark specialties.
Trevor Nafoa, he is number 23. He was there on the return. But now on a first down and 10, ball at the 13-yard line. Corsairs already in the red zone right here. The starting quarterback, number 17, Paul Davis, is going to hand it off, and there goes the Moorpark defensive line coming up big on the first play of the game.
Nice job there by Daniel Henderson going in there. They saw him send him on a blitz right there, and he wasn't able to get through the line at first, but eventually was able to squeeze through and make a nice tackle for loss. And those are the kind of plays we talked about in the pregame show, Ryan, where, you know, this defense can really be a problem for this Santa Monica offense. So nice job by the Raiders right there.
Yes, and that was number 5, Christoph Hirota. He is the running back in for Santa Monica. And he is currently the running back in still for Santa Monica City College. Hirota, he actually has 103 attempts for 342 yards rushing on the season. On the second down and 15, there's going to be a penalty flag It looks to be against the offense, and yes, it will be against the offense. Excuse me, it's actually going to be a timeout.
And so we saw right there, you know, they looked like they were going to a run play right there, Ryan, but there was a timeout, so we weren't able to see that play develop. But I like what Moorpark has done already early in this game here. They've only won one play on offense, but this Moorpark defense has already set the tone here that they're not going to let the Santa Monica team get this touchdown. And if they are going to get it, it's not going to be easy at all. So this Moorpark defense here, known very well for being very crucial and very clutch, I should say, inside the red zone. So right now I'm looking for this Moorpark defense, Ryan, to have a lot more blitzes and potentially, you know, maybe a turnover like we've seen them do time and time again. So look for this Moorpark defense to get even more of a lockdown, have more of a lockdown impact here as they get closer and closer to this end zone.
Yes, and as you see, here comes the second down attempt. It's actually going to be listed as a second down and 14. Ball is going to be placed at the 17-yard line. Once again, you got Davis. He is the quarterback in there right now. Hirota is the running back. He's going to check it down to the running back on the far sideline, a spin move, but is going to be brought down by a multitude of Raiders for a 1-yard gain.
And that was a nice job there by that Moorpark defense. Courtney Chandler, even though he didn't make the play, you saw him blow it up right there. Looks like there might be a penalty right there for maybe unnecessary roughness or a personal foul right there. But anyway, back to the play right there. Courtney Chandler right there blowing up that swing pass we saw right there. And even though he didn't make the play, he was able to knock him off balance and not let him get any yards right there, making him have to make a spin move there, and he was eventually tackled for a loss. And that's going to bring him back even farther there with another penalty on this Santa Monica offense right there. So early in the game here, it looked like the momentum was shifted right there towards Santa Monica, but after just a couple of plays here, Moorpark is definitely pushing them back to where they started almost, right?
Yes, now coming back on a third down and very long. I mean, this is going to be a crazy long conversion that they're going to have to go up on. And, of course, the penalty occurred after the ball was down. So it is going to still be a third down, so they lost it down right there. There's going to be, they're listing as a third down and 27. Driving back to pass, looking to the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. So 3 straight plays, and Moorpark was able to march them back on all 3 of them.
Now, yeah, that was a great job from this Moorpark defense, and we expect nothing less. I mean, they've been time and time again known to shut down these offenses, especially with Santa Monica already losing the momentum after that long penalty. So that was a great job of them to not even bend. Usually people sometimes will say they may bend, but they won't break. They didn't even bend here. I mean, they're going to go for it, it looks like here, but if they can hold this here, they're going to give the offensive ball back here with no damage done on the scoreboard. So this Moorpark defense has definitely been getting it done so far.
Now, I know it is important to score first in a game, but going for a 4th down and 27?
Yeah, a little bit questionable, Ryan, but it is the last game of the season, so, you know, especially with the Santa Monica's record, how it is, I think that they're just trying to do whatever they can here to get some points on the board.
It's actually going to be a delay of game against the offense, so a 4th down and 32 coming up here off of the 5-yard penalty. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go for it now. But as you said, with the last game of the season, you don't really have anything to lose. So, I mean, you could definitely go for it. It looks like they are going to have their punt team out here right now. However, as Vinny Corso, number 20, is running out on the field for the Moorpark Raiders at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and Vinny's so deadly in that punt returning, that punt returning position there. Over 500 yards this year on punt returns, so definitely deadly when he can get the ball.
Took a long time to punt that football, making sure that Vinny is not able to return it, but it takes a Santa Monica bounce and is going to be marked at the 4-yard line, so the Raiders are going to have to charge down the field for 96 yards.
Yeah, nice punt right there. We talk about it a lot in this game, but the football is so awkward. It's so different. It's so differently shaped than any other ball in sports. It's so unpredictable when it bounces, and right there, it bounced in Santa Monica's favor here, staying just outside of that end zone and causing this Moorpark offense to have to be pinned up against their own end zone, going 96 yards for them to be able to put up a score. But, this team can definitely get it done, especially with this run game, Ryan. I mean, all they got to do is get, about 5 or 6 yards, some comfortable breathing room, and they'll be okay.
1st down and 10 ball, the 4-yard line. It's going to be a handout to Desmond Davis. We were talking about him in the pregame show, able to get 6 yards on the carry.
And good job there by Davis. You saw him just kind of feel his blockers back right there and pick up an extra couple yards. But I agree with the call completely, of course. I mean, when you're pinned up inside your own 5, you definitely have to run the ball. And the reason with that, of course, is to give your offense some breathing room. So eventually, once you get out past the 10-yard line, like Moorpark has already done, you can open yourself up to some more options here with the pass game like it looks like they're setting up right now. So good job with Desmond getting that Moorpark offense some breathing room.
So now it's going to be a fake handoff quarterback keeper on the 2nd down and 4, able to get about 3 yards on the carry.
And that was a nice hit there by number 44 in that Santa Monica defense, Chris Wine. This guy, we didn't talk about him in the pregame show, Ryan, but this guy is a total stud. If there's one stud on this Santa Monica defense, it's this guy. 127 tackles so far in this year. And of those 127, 81 of those are solo tackles. So Chris Wine, look for him all night to be all over the ball.
Now on that 3rd down and 1, getting the handoff, able to get past that 15-yard line is Mark Martin, the sophomore. He's being celebrated here on sophomore night. One of the many sophomores for the Moorpark Raiders, able to get the 1st down.
And though it's not as dramatic as your last high school game or, maybe even your last professional college game, it is still, there's some emotions here. And, you look for that a little bit to be a little bit of an impact tonight because it is some of these guys' last game as a Moorpark Raider, but ultimately expect not too much.
1st down and 10. Tanner Darling finds Ryan Matlock deep down the field. Matlock has nobody in front of him, down to the 10. Touchdown Raiders. I don't see any penalty flags. That's going to be a touchdown for Moorpark.
Ryan Matlock has been coming up a lot in these last couple games, Ryan. I mean, last week we didn't talk about him too much, but Mr. Reliable, twice in that game last week against Cerritos, he made 2 game-saving catches, one to continue the drive and one to put away the game. So Ryan Matlock has definitely been stepping up for this receiving core here. And, I mean, when you got guys like Vinny who've been getting the ball so often, and sometimes, defenses will start to key on guys like Vinny, you need other receivers to step up. And Ryan Matlock has been doing that, and he's been doing it extremely well.
I mean, my oh my sweet cherry pie. That's a way to start the game, ladies and gentlemen. That was fantastic right there from Tanner Darling. He put it on the money. Usually you'll see him, because he has such a strong arm, he'll overthrow receivers, but he just put it right where he was supposed to. And the PAT attempt by Riley Garrett is straight through the uprights.
And it looked like there was a blown coverage right there in that secondary for Santa Monica, but Ryan Matlock so fast once he saw that, and Tanner was able to, once Tanner saw that, he was able to take advantage and put it right on the money, hit him in stride. A lot of times, too, we'll see quarterbacks that aren't as accurate. They overthrow, so their receiver has to leap out and, they're stopped with their momentum, or they'll underthrow them so that they have to come back and catch it, and the defenders are able to catch up to the receiver and tackle him. But right there, and the best way that you can do it is hit your receiver in stride so he doesn't have to slow down or speed up at all, able to just maintain speed and take it all the way for 6. So great job from Darling to Matlock right there. Great connection.
And we talked about in the pregame show, we mentioned one of the players that we have not seen too much this season that we want to see more of, and we think that he had a great game last week, was Ryan Matlock. And he just showed you that he could come up big. Here comes that pooch kick. It's going to be fair caught right before the 35-yard line. So Santa Monica starting with some good field position once again. And
we see now the Moorpark special teams has now kind of respected the Santa Monica kickoff return team, because that first play of the game there, they took it about 80 yards down the field. And once you see plays like that and you see the kind of threats that the Santa Monica kick return team has, Moorpark's going to play it a lot more safe there and expect a lot more pooch kicks for the rest of the night.
And what was pretty incredible about that first kickoff return of the game was that Trevor Nofoa, he actually fumbled it and then was able to gain possession and take it all that way. So now on a 1st down and 10 ball at the 34-yard line, it's going to be a handoff to the running back, trying to get on the outside on the far sideline. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 45-yard line there for the Corsairs. That was Christoph Hirota.
And Christoph Hirota, you expect it from running backs, especially in this day and age here. But very quick when he gets to the outside right there. You saw Henderson try to make a shoelace tackle almost, but Hirota's so fast that once he got to the outside, no one was able to stop him. He actually got tripped up on his own feet right there, so Moorpark caught a break. That could have been even more damage there in that run game, but Hirota doing a nice job picking up about 20 to 25 yards right there. Maybe about 15 to 20 yards.
Now, while we have a break in the action, we're going to thank a few of our sponsors. We can't do without our sponsors, so thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream. The U.S. Army. Go on business trips with a company like no other. U.S. Army. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Wells Fargo. UCLA Health. It begins with you. UCLA Health. And Moorpark Center for Dentistry. We care about our community as much as you do. at Moorpark Center for Dentistry. Thank you very much for sponsoring us here at the Moorpark Raider Livestream and the Moorpark College football team. But now, as we've been mentioning in this game, it is sophomore night. The sophomore football players this evening, number 3, Cameron Mayweather, number 5, Mark Martin, number 15, J.J. Durden, number 17, Hayden Galvin, number 25, Raymond Thomas, number 28, Anthony McLean, number 44, Jalon Kitchen, number 51, Cameron Townsend, number 75, Frederick Wise, number 81, Cameron Prentice Brown, and number 90, Richard Watkins. So these players have been playing amazing for us this season, and they're all sophomores. So unfortunately, this will most likely be their last game playing with us, but we have just loved broadcasting for them. We've loved having them here for our team. But also, we also have a few cheerleaders. Of course, just as senior night happens, we also have just as senior night in high school, we also have sophomore night, as we have Gabby Fahrenkoff, we have Summer Fitch, Nina Gonzalez, Savannah Hernandez, Michelle Pfeiffer, not the actress, but Michelle Pfeiffer, the cheerleader, Kenna Porter, Alyssa Sanders, and Jessica Santoya. Those are all the cheerleaders that we have that are, of course, sophomores here. So we've just had a great time having those cheerleaders here and also the Moorpark Raiders athletes.
Definitely. And it looks like, they're under some pain right there from that Moorpark right there, having a little bit of a blow there by number 59, Jalen Kitchen, kind of walking off, looking like his foot is, maybe got wrapped up or, maybe could have had an ankle twist right there. But hopefully he'll be okay. He does look like he's in some pain. But good thing is it's always a good thing to see the players be able to get up on their own 2 feet. So hopefully Kitchen will be able to come back in this game later and do some more damage.
Yes, hopefully he is just A-okay. But now on a first down and 10 is going to be a handoff straight up the middle, able to get just around the 40-yard line. That's number 23 that actually had the big-time return, Trevor Nafoa.
And good job there by Nafoa trying to get a couple yards, but even better job there by that Moorpark defense, able to gang tackle right there. You saw one guy come in there, not able to wrap up, and then another guy come in swarm, and those are the kind of plays you need to stop these drives, especially with guys that are on, especially guys from the Santa Monica offense here, guys like you've talked about before, Nafoa, who's able to just, get to the corner and do some damage. So good job with that gang tackle from that Moorpark defense.
Nafoa only has 16 attempts for 39 yards this season, so not used too much in this offensive scheme, but you can definitely see he can pick up the necessary yards when he needs to. Now on a second down and 7 is going to be a pass thrown in the middle. It's going to be a first down conversion for the Corsairs down to the 30-yard line. That was Corriedo Giovanni there with the reception.
Giovanni, good job right there. Picking up the first down, keeping the drive alive, but we saw Hayden, who's so good in open field tackling, open space. He's able to stop Giovanni from getting any more yards there. But the Santa Monica offense, we haven't seen too much success tonight. But so far, as this drive's continued, they've started to get better and better and more confident in their quarterback's arm. So it looks like they're going to the passing game a little bit more, right?
Yes, the first drive they were just going backwards, and now they're actually going forwards. He's able to check it down, but not able to get any yards on the play, just able to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's Giovanni once again on the reception.
And great job by Alatorre coming up there. And you saw him come out almost out of nowhere, just flying out of the corner there, and he's able to run up and stop him for a loss of 1. So great job by Alatorre. Alatorre and Hayden have been so crucial in this secondary, right? We don't talk about it enough here, but those two guys are the 1 and 3 on the tackler board. So great job from both of them all year. They've been doing a great job. You've seen them get more and more confident as the year's gone on, but those two are definitely going to be missed next year.
Yes, they are. But now coming up with a second down and 11 for the Corsairs. It's going to be a handoff to the running back to the near sideline. That's Hirota. He has some daylight in front of him, down past the 5-yard line. Not a touchdown, but there is a penalty flag. However, down on the field right around where the ball was spotted.
Yeah, and hopefully this one looks like it might be coming back. I'm not sure. There could have been a hold or a block in the back. I'm not sure what they threw the flag on there for, but there was definitely a lot of collision right there and a lot of contact, so it might be something of, a block in the back of some sort. But we've already seen Hirota. He's got some wheels, Ryan. Twice now he's been left free, and he's been taking it for 20 to 25 yards, so it looks like this is the go-to guy here for this. Yep, block in the back right there. And that's going to come back, and that's the worst kind of play because not only that, not only do you lose all those yards that you just picked up, but your offense is pretty much just lost a play. And pardon me, there will be repeated downs, but they're tired right there, right? I mean, you just running down 25 yards right there. Your running back's tired, and after that, you got to run it again. So those are the worst kind of plays. Mental mistakes will kill you, Ryan, and that's what's the difference between wins and losses is the mental mistakes.
Yeah, one thing that is a good sign for the Corsairs, however, is it occurred after the first down. So they still counted the first down on that drive. So that's one good thing that they had, but you never want to see them, when they're inside the 5-yard line, getting put back behind the 15.
Definitely. Thank you, Ryan, for correcting right there.
Oh, no problem, Nick. Now on a first down and 10, here comes a big-time sack right there from the Raiders. Drew Mathis, number 10.
Drew Mathis, another monster that we were talking about in the pregame show on this defensive line. You know, this D1 bounce back, and he proves it every single week. I mean, you know, the number 2 on the tackler board here, just behind Hayden and Drew Mathis. I mean, such a monster right there. You saw them try to go to Santa Monica, try to go to that option right there, and the quarterback saw that there was no hole for the running back, tried to keep it himself, but Drew Mathis just ate him up for breakfast, right?
Yes, he did. And now coming up with a second down and 14, just about 8 minutes to go in the game. 7-0 lead for the Raiders. And there was another sack, but however, the ref already called out the play. He already threw the penalty flag, but I mean, that would have been a sack right there.
Definitely. I mean, and you know, twice now we've seen this Moorpark defense get pinned up inside their own red zone, and they've been able to literally push themselves out of it by sacks and penalties. So, you know, if this penalty stands here, it looks like they're going to be moved out of the red zone right now, Ryan. So, I mean, they already were before that, part of me, but it looks like they're going to be pushed farther and farther out.
Yes, that was a false start penalty against the offense. So a 5-yard penalty setting up a second down and 19. So we've already seen the offense. It seems like any time that they get something to go, not just the offense, the special teams as well, when they get something to go, they always get brought back. They can't continue to go forward. Of course, that's partly because of the great Moorpark defense, but it should be just so deflating for them as they do have a big-time pass play down the field. No penalty flags, and the pass is going to be completed to Nofoa right there, number 23.
Yeah, Trevor Nofoa, I mean, they have him here listed as a running back, but, I mean, it looks like he can definitely run it in the slot. So, you know, Nofoa there, you saw him, they put him in the slot right there, and he's able to take it for about a nice 15 to 20-yard gain there. So, you know, the Santa Monica team, they've been starting to get some momentum rolling, but then they always push back from penalties and sacks. But right now it looks like they're biting at that scoreboard.
First down and goal at the 5-yard line, knocking on the door of the end zone. But right there, the Raiders close that door with a sack.
A nice double tackle or assisted sack there by Henderson and Drew Mathis right there. These two are definitely something that Moorpark's proud of here on this defense here. I mean, both these guys play linebacker. We do see Drew Mathis play D-end a lot as well, but these two are some of the heart and soul of this Moorpark defense right there in the middle at the linebacker position, Ryan.
And Henderson coming off of, I believe, his first interception last game. So also not just tackling, not just getting sacks, but he can also use his hands on the defensive side.
Definitely. I mean, he almost dropped that one last week, but he did catch it. He did bounce it right back to himself, so that was a good job by Henderson last week.
No, second down and goal coming up, ball at the 9-yard line. A fade route is going to be incomplete, but it's going to be a pass interference right there. It looks like it's going to be against the Raiders.
Yeah, and right there, it's so hard as a DB because, of course, you're never looking at the ball. You're only looking at the receiver, and the rule is once their eyes start to get big, that's when you kind of turn around or you put your you put your hands up because you're not trying to stare at the football because if you stare at the football, obviously you're not staring at the wide receiver, so they can get open in between then. So right there, you saw him try to lock him up, and then as he threw the ball away, the receiver was smart enough to kind of stop running, so it looked like he was it looked like some obvious pass interference there. So that was actually a heads-up play by the Santa Monica offense there, but unfortunately that does hurt with that pass interference and a first and goal for the Santa Monica offense.
Yes, number 26, Matthew Drake was guilty on that, but now with just under 6:20 left in the first quarter, 7-0 lead for the Raiders, but here comes the Corsairs. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, and there goes the big-time Moorpark defense. Richard Watkins was there. Number 90, also there was number 94, Jalen Valawaga.
Watkins and Walla Walla right there making a great effort there to take down the quarterback here for Santa Monica, number 17, Paul Davis. I mean, Paul Davis hasn't had too much success tonight, but this Moorpark defense, he has had some success, but every time it seems that he gets a little bit of momentum here, this Moorpark defense sacks him for a loss of about at least, 2 to 3 yards, if not more. So it's been a constant battle here with this offensive defense, but it's been a good game so far, right?
Yes, it has been, but now a second down and goal. Ball at the 5-yard line. Still knocking on the door of the end zone. It's going to be a fake handoff. Quarterback keeper brought down for a 2-yard gain. Coming up is a third down and goal at the 3-yard line.
A nice tackle there by the entire Moorpark defense, making sure they wrapped him up by his legs and then took him down so that he couldn't keep driving in to get that touchdown right there. But what I've noticed a lot tonight, Ryan, so far early in this game is that this Santa Monica offense trusts their quarterback, Paul Davis, here to run the ball a lot more than we usually see here. So they do need to be careful. I mean, they do have some good backups for this Santa Monica offense, but you definitely don't want to put your quarterback in any unnecessary, risk here running the ball so often.
Third down and goal at the 3-yard line. Handout to Hirota. Hirota busts through inside the end zone, and I don't see any penalty flags, so it will be a touchdown. Corsairs putting their first points up on the board, but after the touchdown, however, there will be penalty flags. Don't be surprised if it is going to be against the Corsairs right there. They were trying to show off a little bit from that touchdown.
Yeah, you saw him spike the ball right there. I mean, that was just those unnecessary bonehead plays are what are going to hurt you on the kickoff. But a lot of these guys, they get so amped up and so hyped up, especially the last game of the season, and so much frustration so far this year from Santa Monica that when they finally do get the score here, they let it out a little bit too much. And, there's no need for that. And ultimately, it's going to hurt you later in the game because, it can hurt you the very next play, actually, when they kick it off from, farther back. It gives the Moorpark kick return team, more space to make something happen here and potentially run it back themselves. So you don't want to see that kind of stuff happen here. But with that being said, that was a nice drive by Santa Monica, constantly battling third downs and, huge losses, and they were able to put it up. But early in the game here, it looks like if they can make this PAT, we're going to be tied. So.
Yes, and we just got word from the referee that there was 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against the offense, and both, of course, are going to count. So they said that it's going to be enforced on the kickoff, and it's going to be a 30-yard penalty enforced on the kickoff.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking. I mean, Moorpark's going to get the ball from, the 30 or the 35 just receiving, and because of how far Santa Monica's going to be put back when they kick it, they're going to at least going to be able to get 10, 15 yards on the return. So that's going to put them up around the middle of the field, Ryan. So those bonehead plays are literally what lose you games. So let's see if this Moorpark offense can capitalize.
And now, after that completed PAT attempt, it's 7-7 here at Griffith Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders. 4:50 left to go in the first quarter. And now, while we have another break in action, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors. We can't do it without our sponsors. So thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream. The lender you can call home, PennyMac. Let us tackle all your mortgage needs. PennyMac. DCH Auto Group, delivering customer happiness. DCH Auto Group. Nationwide is on your side. Nationwide. Jersey Mike's Subs. Since 1956, a sub above. Jersey Mike's Subs. And Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center. Well within reach. Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center. Thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream and the Moorpark Raider football team. Now, as you see, they're going to be kicking it off from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, right? I mean, that's, usually you'll see maybe one bonehead play that will put you back about 15 yards, but 2 back-to-back, because we saw a double spike right there, like a Gronk spike by one of the linemen on Santa Monica's offense there. So with that being said, you got to kick it all the way to the 10-yard line. So
they're only able to get it to about the 35. It's going to be recovered right around that area. Bringing it back, a big-time block right there. Desmond Davis has the football in the return, is breaking tackle after tackle, cuts back, now at the 40-yard line inside Corsair territory. However, there is a penalty flag thrown right around the 40-yard line, the Moorpark 40-yard line, so it looks like it will be brought back, but however, that was some great moves we saw out there by Desmond Davis.
Yeah, and it looks like right there we saw a late hit there on the Moorpark kickoff team. Someone came across there and looked like potentially a cheap shot. I mean, it looked kind of clean to me, Ryan, but, you never know. These refs might have seen something different there. So that is going to never mind. That hit was clean. So
it was, okay.
Never mind. No offset, so, oh, all right. So with the re-kick, unfortunately, that doesn't help Moorpark at all. They're going to have to get they're going to get a chance to get the ball again and score, but, you know, I think Davis is going to be a little tired after making that run right there. So hopefully they can do the same thing that they did right there. But either way, we did see what the damage and the penalty effect is after you kick the ball off from the 10-yard line. I mean, he took it all the way back to the 35, Ryan. So.
And now, just to make sure none of you at home are confused, there was an offsides penalty against the kicking team, so they stepped over the 10-yard line before the football was kicked by the kicker. And then there was also a penalty against the Raiders. That was a block in the back, basically. It was a penalty against Moorpark on the return game. So both of those penalties will offset. That's why they're going to be kicking it once again. So with 4:38 left in the first quarter, here comes the kickoff once again. A booming kick towards Desmond Davis, recovers it on his heels at the 30. Has some blocking in front of him. Once again, another big-time return past the 40-yard line inside Corsair territory. Basically the same spotting as the last kick return.
Davis is so versatile for this Moorpark offense. I mean, not only is he a great running back, but, you know, we've seen him a lot more recently actually as a kickoff returner here for this specialties. But, I mean, he literally did what he did one play ago. They took it back, and you think he'd be a little exhausted, but no, I mean, he takes it back to literally right around maybe 1 or 2 yards different from where the last spotted ball was. So great field position for the Moorpark Raiders. They should definitely get some sort of points on the board with such good field position.
Now out there for the Moorpark Raiders, number 28, Anthony McLean, one of the sophomores for the Raiders. On a first down and 10 is going to be a fake handoff. Darling has nowhere to go, and he is going to be brought down for the sack. But one thing that I like to see out of there, of course, you never want to give him a sack, but one thing that I like is Darling never touched the ground on the sack. He stayed up and he showed the strength that he has.
Definitely, and we did see Cameron Prentice Brown. He was actually open for a second, but the pressure, and that's what makes good defenses good, is the pressure. It's a complete team sport in football, and we saw the defensive line cause pressure just enough time so that Tanner Darling wasn't able to find Cameron Prentice Brown because the secondary did blow their responsibilities, but the defensive line for Santa Monica was able to make up for it with the sack. So they got a lucky break there.
Now in a big-time second down and 18 is going to be a handoff. Only able to get they're actually going to call it about 3 yards on the gain. That's Anthony McLean, number 28, the sophomore here for your Moorpark Raiders.
Yeah, and it's good to see Anthony McLean getting the ball more and more. I think one reason, too, is because it is sophomore night. These coaches do respect that, this is some of these players' last times they'll ever suit up. And, you're not thinking about that too much as the game goes on, but as soon as this game's over, it is going to hit you. So it is good that they're giving Anthony McLean a lot more snaps tonight.
They're down to 15 with about 3:15 left in the first quarter. Darling has nowhere to go. He's rolling up in the pocket. He is throwing deep down the field. Cameron Prentice Brown, number 81, there for the touchdown. Moorpark Raiders, and he dives in for the end zone on sophomore night. Most likely unsportsmanlike conduct against Cameron Prentice Brown, but you can't blame him. Wide open on the touchdown. Dives in there on sophomore night, getting it for his fellow sophomore Raiders.
Yeah, we talked about a lot earlier, actually my first game here, Ryan, in Fullerton, we talked about the relationship with Cameron Prentice Brown and Tanner Darling, and we kind of saw that fade out a little bit, but now that Cameron's back, I mean, right there, you saw him just kind of do a little nudge right there, pointing to Cameron to go up on that go route, and that's what got open right there. So that was a great chemistry just by Tanner, just kind of pointing around in the pocket, and that's what had him go, that's what made Cameron Prentice Brown realized that he had to go up on that route right there. So great chemistry right there. Unfortunately, there was going to be a little penalty, but Moorpark does regain the lead there, 13-7.
Hey, and if you get a penalty, but you get those 6 points with the penalty, you're definitely going to take the 6 points.
Definitely.
So now coming up here, Riley Garrett, number 99. The kicker, the reliable kicker for the Moorpark Raiders, nails that PAT attempt.
And as we were talking about, Ryan, literally the last kick that we saw right there with the last kick we saw right there with all those penalties that were caused that set Davis up in such good field position. I mean, we literally called what was going to happen. We said they're going to get the ball at the 35, take it down to around the 50, which they took it down to the 40. And, that boneheaded play earlier in the game by Santa Monica is what ultimately caused this touchdown here for the Moorpark Raiders. So, sometimes people think, I scored, so what? We got a penalty. But we did see Moorpark get a little penalty, but when you have 2 penalties, they put you on the 10-yard line. That's definitely going to hurt you. And right there, we literally saw the actions of the Santa Monica offense. With their actions, what they did and their penalties, literally gave the Moorpark offense the ball back and ultimately had them score.
Yep, so now coming out here, of course, as you were mentioning, the penalties, also that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will be against Moorpark. So they will be kicking it from their own 20-yard line. But, I mean, big leg Riley Garrett out here, number 99. He has a huge leg on him, kicking that 46-yard field goal in last week's game. And he was able to nail that one. So he definitely has a leg on him. He could kick it deep on this one. They're just going to go for the short kick. Interesting to see that. It's just going to be recovered right around the 50, bringing it back to about the 47-yard line inside Raider territory. There is a penalty flag, but interesting to see that pooch-type kick when you're that close to your side of the field.
Yeah, and Bradley right there for Moorpark. You saw him coming a couple times. I think he was the one on that other late hit, or not late hit, pardon me, that other big hit on that kickoff where Desmond Davis took it back the first time, and we thought the flag was going to be on him. But right there, you know, we see him again, him and someone on the Santa Monica kickoff team, their number 10, Devin Cox. Those two have been going at it. So right there, we see another big hit between the two of them, and there was a penalty. I'm not sure what it was on, Ryan, there, but look for those two to be going at it all night on specialties. Those two are both some big boys, and they've been laying some big hits on each other tonight.
Yes, so one thing that was a legal hit, so Moorpark, of course, we have not had too many illegal hits this season. We try to go and we try to make as legal hit as possible. And you saw out there was no penalty call on that. It was actually against the Corsairs. So luckily enough, it is going to bring them back behind the 50-yard line on their own side of the 50 on a first down and 10. It's going to be a pass completed to number 23 on the near sideline, able to get past the 50, now inside Raider territory. That's Trevor Nafoa once again.
And good job there by Tobias James. You saw right there, good open field tackle, and he forced him. You see how he had the outside contained, didn't let him get outside, forced him back in, and he almost did cut back there, but Tobias James right there able to wrap him up and ultimately make the tackle. So good job. These corners for this Moorpark defense are very good at open field tackling. It showed right there.
And now coming up with a second down and 4. Ball placed at the 49-yard line of the Raiders with 2:20 left in the first quarter. Moorpark with a 14-7 lead. Dropping back to pass, looking on the near sideline, deep down the field is going to be incomplete, but a penalty flag thrown on J.J. Durden. Wow.
And that was a little bit of a questionable call right there, Ryan. I'm not really sure why they threw that. That was, I'm not positive, but you know what, the refs, they make their own decisions there, so you can't argue, you can't leave the game up to the referees. And unfortunately, J.J. Durden was called on that. I honestly thought that was a very good play right there. That seemed very clean. He locked him up. He did everything that he should to ultimately stop him from getting the ball there. But in a league that is so biased towards the offense there, it's so hard to play DB in this league. So hats off to J.J. Durden for making a great play. Just unfortunately, call didn't go his way.
I do have to agree with you. It looked like J.J. Durden was playing as well of coverage as you can, but unfortunately the penalty will go up against him, so it will bring the Corsairs to a first down and 10. Ball at the 34-yard line. Just about 2:12 left in the first quarter. Moorpark has the lead by 7 points. He has nowhere to go, but he's going to just throw it out of bounds. Davis is feeling the pressure. It feels like Paul Davis, number 17, isn't really ready for this Moorpark Raider pressure.
I know, and Moorpark keeps bringing it every single play here. I mean, they do not let off the gas at all, Ryan. So right there you saw he just barely avoided, I think it was his fourth, it would have been his fourth sack of the day. So this Moorpark defensive line is hungry right now. They're trying to eat.
Yes, and they're trying to eat, especially since they don't have any more Kitchen right now. He was out of the game and still out of the game.
Unfortunately, yeah, they're trying to eat for their boy Kitchen.
So now with a second down and 10 coming up here for the Corsairs. Ball still placed at the 34-yard line. It looks like it should be a timeout. They are going to call a timeout because the play clock dwindled down to no time left, so that would have been a delay of game. But while we have this timeout, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors once again. We cannot do without our sponsors, so thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark College football team and your Moorpark Raider live stream. Cricket, something to smile about. Cricket Wireless. Stonefire Grill, where community is served. Stonefire Grill. IBEW Local 47. Southern California's light powered for 125 years. IBEW Local 47. Latin Auto Group. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Always close to home. Latin Auto Group. And The Hat, serving world famous pastrami, burgers, dogs, chili for 67 years. The Hat. Now we're back to the game as we have Santa Monica City College with a 2nd down and 10 coming up off of the timeout. As you see, there is a play clock. If you ever get the chance to come down here to Griffith Stadium, you will see that there is a play clock on the scoreboard and right by the flagpole on both sides of the field as there is a reception. It seems like they're going to be calling it an incomplete pass, but wow. Giovanni, number 19 Giovanni, he definitely came up with wiping the sweat beads off his forehead because that seemed like that could have been a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
And Hayden Calvin right there, rocked his world, rocked Giovanni's world right there. Great form tackle, you saw him right there. Come up, wrap, squeeze, and pop the ball out. Unfortunately for Moorpark defense, and fortunately enough for the Santa Monica offense, they caught a break here. But that was ruled an incomplete pass because he didn't have possession long enough with it. But that was a great play by Hayden Galvin.
That was a great play right there. Hayden Galvin, a sophomore here on sophomore night. A 3rd down and 10 coming up, and he's going to be wrapped up with the big-time sack. The Raiders coming up big once again. That's the big boy down low, number 94, Jalen Balawaga.
Balawaga's, put on a game tonight for us so far. We've seen him with a couple of these big plays and a couple sacks. So this entire Moorpark defense is definitely making plays, and they're playing like this is the last game that they're going to be playing. So whenever it's the last game of the season, you've got to lay absolutely everything on the line and leave nothing left in the gas tank. And we've seen them do that so far tonight, right?
Yes, and as you mentioned, the last game of the season, you don't have any more games left. You got to show up right now. If you're a sophomore, you got to try to show up for the D1 Scouts. You got to try to show up for your team, as we're going to have a fake. It's going to be a keeper, and it looks like he slid right before the 1st down marker. And wow, my sweet cherry pie, this punter, he had a wide open lane. He had the 1st down, but he slid a yard too shy.
And that is definitely those kind of bonehead plays we're talking about, Ryan. I mean, right there, that was a perfectly drawn up fake punt, pardon me. You saw that right there. He had the biggest gap in the world right there. I mean, it looked like a gap from California to Japan right there. I mean, that was so wide open right there. And you saw him look over to see if he had the 1st down, but getting a little bit too comfortable right there. I guess you could credit Vinny Corso right there, flying up right there, causing a little bit of pressure there, but he slides a yard too short. So ultimately a blown play, even though if you would have watched that play, you would say, wow, that is drawn up perfectly.
Now setting up that 1st down and 10 for the Moorpark Raiders. Just above a minute left in the 1st quarter. Moorpark still ahead 14-7, but right there was a false start penalty against the offense, so it's going to bring them back to a 1st down and 15 from their own 20.
So far, everything's going right for Moorpark tonight. I mean, so far, everything that they can be doing, they're doing correctly. And all the breaks that you can catch in between, minus a couple of pass interference calls that are debatable. Other than that, everything's been going their way, and they've been playing like they deserve to win this game. Also, just to note, Ryan Matlock has just stepped in the game here. Touchdown earlier tonight, Ryan, and now we see him come in here at the slot position, so look for him.
Yes, definitely look for him out there, but we will have a timeout. Raymond Thomas, number 25, alongside number 5, Mark Martin, were lined up in the backfield, and both of them are sophomores. It's great to see not only, of course, the star players that are usually showcased on this offense. They're running every single play, such as Mark Martin, but being a sophomore, it's also great to see the players that aren't playing too much this season getting showcased out here early on in the game, such as guys like Raymond Thomas, number 25. You got guys like number 28, Anthony McLean, just getting those minutes out here.
Yeah, and like we talked about, it is in part two. I mean, of course, these kids can all play, but when you have so many athletes, especially in the running back position, it's hard to get McLean and Thomas the reps that they deserve as well. But, with only so much time in a game, they're just unable to do that. But because it is sophomore night, I think that the Moorpark coach, Coach Stewart, wants to, allow these guys, especially because it's some of these guys' last games they'll ever play in their life. He wants to make sure that they're able to get the reps and, enjoy the game one last time.
Now here coming up on a first down and 15 is going to be a handoff to Raymond Thomas. Mark Martin is the lead blocker, cutting back to the middle and brought down just shy of the 30-yard line.
Nice run right there. Picked up about 4 yards, pardon me. Thomas got some wheels. We haven't seen him too much this year like we talked about, but it is nice to see. I mean, they have guys like Mark Martin, who's an all-around player right there, not only willing to get the ball. Of course, everyone will go 100% when they know they're getting the ball. But when you're blocking, you'll see a lot of guys take plays off, but not for Mark Martin, who was able to make a nice play and a nice little hole there for Thomas to pick up a nice chunk of yards.
So now setting up a second down and 6 here for Moorpark. It's going to be a handout to Mark Martin, getting some room on the outside, using the stiff arm, and wow, he trucks the defender, just knocks him straight to the ground. First down, Mark Martin.
Mark Martin is such an asset for this Moorpark offense right there. I mean, you saw him right there, not only stiff arm, but then just lower the shoulder just to put that on his highlight reel. So Mark Martin, nice job right there. Great play, and picked up the first down to keep the drive moving. So this Moorpark offense is definitely all on the same page as we end the first quarter. Moorpark has been playing like they deserve this game.
Yes, and that was DeMayon Jackson, number 28 there, who just got absolutely trucked by Mark Martin. But now, as you mentioned, it is the end of the first quarter of action here at Griffith Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders. The Moorpark Raiders are up against the Santa Monica City College Corsairs, 14-7. We're going to be starting the second quarter action in just a bit. But this has just been a great first quarter of action. The Moorpark Raiders, they've just been stepping up big time here in this first quarter. I mean, coming out strong, scoring 17 points in the first quarter. That is definitely the way that you want to start a game. What have you seen out of this first quarter of action that you like so much? I
mean, I think it's been a pretty good game here for Moorpark all around. I mean, we've seen them on the special teams not only execute, but also on the offense and, of course, on the defense here. So ultimately, Moorpark's been playing a great game so far, Ryan. And I mean, they've been doing everything they can to, to dominate this game, and they've definitely been showing it all night so far.
Yes, they have been showing it all night, and as you see, Moorpark, they just don't step down. They just keep on going, and these players, they pull any player out here for the Raiders, and they're able to get a first down. They're able to contribute no matter who it is. It's just this whole entire team is just ready to go all the time out here. So now setting up a first down and 10 for the Raiders. Is going to fake it now to the far sideline. Has some daylight in front of him. That's Vinny Corso on the far sideline. He's tiptoeing down, able to get past the 30-yard line for a big-time first down.
Vinny Corso, so fast. I mean, time and time again, Tanner Darling comes back to him, and how can you blame him? I mean, when Vinny makes plays like that, he is the #1 receiver here, and a lot of people wouldn't think that because of his size, but there are a lot of guys in football that can ball out, being undersized. So Vinny Corso right there, nice pickup of about 30 yards right there.
It does a great job by Vinny Corso, Mr. Reliable out here for the Moorpark Raiders. Now on a first down and 10, ball at the 28-yard line. It's going to be a handoff. Anthony McLean going on the outside, able to get about 2 yards on the carry right there.
Anthony McLean, we haven't seen him as much this year either, but they're definitely giving him the snaps that he deserves as he's been able to pick up a nice couple yards right there. Nice run to the outside.
Yes, great job by him. It's always good to see him get loose on the outside. Raymond Thomas, Anthony McLean, just great running backs that haven't been used too much. We could definitely just reach in our pocket and grab those guys out whenever we need, and we're just going to have some great gains from them, as Nico Lima able to get a reception, his first reception of the game inside the red zone here for the Raiders.
And I like how the Moorpark offense uses Nico Lima. They obviously they can always use him more, but Nico Lima right there, they like to use him on these quick kind of streaks right there. They hit him on these quick, 5 yard, takes 5 steps, and the ball's right there. So he's always reliable with those hands. He's so big, too. He's so hard to take down. He'll always pick up an extra couple yards. So Nico Lima, another one of these studs here for this Moorpark offense.
This definitely is a stud for our team, and he has just been great this season. Maybe not used as much as he would have liked, but, I mean, he is just a great athlete out here and a great asset for the offense. Darling is escaping the sack and able to evade it, bringing them inside the 10-yard line. Great job right there from Tanner Darling.
Tanner Darling's so shifty. Every time that he's forced out of the pocket, he uses it to his advantage and makes the defense pay for almost giving him pressure right there. So Tanner Darling, so shifty, picks up a nice chunk of yards right there, about 6-7 yards. So, you definitely got to be careful if you're the Santa Monica defense not letting Tanner Darling outside of the pocket, because not only can he throw the ball and, hurt you on the long bombs like we've seen him do a couple times tonight, but he can also hurt you just running it.
Yeah, now on the second down, lobs it up to Nico Lima. Touchdown Raiders. Another penalty flag thrown, but I mean, in war scoring like this, nothing can go bad, nothing can go against us. I mean, Raiders are just playing tremendously out here.
Yeah, great job by Nico Lima getting both of his feet down, and Tanner just lobs it up, putting the perfect amount of poise on that ball right there. On that ball. And it just falls right into his hands right before he gets to the back of the end zone. Great job right there. It's going to be a sportsmanlike conduct after the play, but doesn't take away that touchdown, and Moorpark extends his lead to 13.
Yes, it's 20-7 right now prior to the PAT attempt, but Tanner Darling, 3 passing touchdowns already in this game. One was thrown to Ryan Matlock. The other was to Cameron Prentice-Brown, and this last one was to Nico Lima, able to get this Moorpark Raider offense started. And with about 12:30 left in the first half, second quarter of action, the Moorpark Raiders now have a 21-7 lead against the Corsairs.
And right there we saw Marvin Williams, D-line 6'4", 2 plays on the D-line for Santa Monica, almost able to block that kick right there. But, of course, Riley Garrett able to put it up for another extra point right there, Mr. Reliable.
Yes, he is Mr. Reliable. He has just been great for our Moorpark Raider team. He has just been amazing. He even lines up as a wide receiver during warm-ups. So I've been joking with him whenever we're talking. And I say, hey, when are you going to actually line up as a wide receiver? And, I mean, I hope that he lines up sometime this season as a receiver. Of course, this being the last game, he'll have to line up tonight. But I'd like to see him out there because it seems like he actually has some pretty nice moves. He's pretty elusive out there. He's not like what you would think a kicker would be. Kickers get a bad rep, of course. Kickers, usually most people don't think they're athletic, but kickers, they are some of the most athletic people. Maybe not on the team, but some of the most athletic people at a college like this. So Riley Garrett can definitely do some damage if he's put in the right receiver's position. You never know what he could do.
Of course, and if you see this lead start to increase more and more, if Moorpark's able to keep capitalizing while the defense is able to hold the Santa Monica offense from scoring, then look for them to do a lot more, kind of weird and fun stuff, because it is the last game, so they will see a lot of new players. We see a lot of them trying out a lot of different running backs tonight, but they do have to capitalize and not let this game get out of hand.
That's him again, number 23. Had some daylight in front of him, able to bring it back to right around the 35-yard line. That's Trevor Nafoa. Trevor Nafoa, 2 big-time returns already in this game alone.
And right there, Vinny Corso made a shoelace tackle there, but stopped him from getting any more damage and creating any more yards for this Santa Monica offense. But fortunately, we've seen time and time again, especially tonight, this Moorpark defense has no fear for this, this rough field position. And so basically, look for this Moorpark defense to keep making plays.
Yes, look for them to keep making plays because they have just been playing amazing tonight. Now setting up with a first down and 10. Empty backfield we're seeing here. Stepping up in the pocket, Davis is just going to check it down to the shoelaces of his receiver. That's not a place you want to throw it at, but it's going to force a second down.
Davis having a lot of problems tonight. I mean, he can't seem to get on too much rhythm. Of course, he did have that touchdown earlier in the game. And, pardon me, he didn't have the touchdown, but he has had success earlier in the game here. But it doesn't seem that he's able to get on any sort of rhythm here. And we've seen Tanner Darling starting to get on a rhythm, but unfortunately for the Santa Monica offense here, Davis has not been able to get on a rhythm. We'll see him make a couple plays, get sacked for a huge loss, a couple penalties, make another play. But if Davis can get on a rhythm, he can definitely cause some problems for the Moorpark defense.
Yes, he would be able to, but it's going to be a handoff straight up the middle. Has some daylight in front of him, but he's going to be brought down by J.J. Durden. That was number 5, Christoph Hirota, there for the carry, and he actually has the only touchdown of the game for Santa Monica City College with a rushing touchdown.
Hirota very quick. I mean, his yards this season don't define how quick this guy is, but J.J. Durden, like we talked about earlier, so good in open field tackling. All of these secondary guys are, but especially J.J. Durden making another open field tackle to turn a first down into only a 3-4 yard gain.
Yes, that was a great job right there. J.J. Durden, one of the premier players on the Moorpark Raiders, not just defenders, but it's going to be a handoff on a 3rd down. Has some room in front of him. There is a penalty flag, a few penalty flags thrown down in the field, but once again, that was Hirota on the carry. He was down right around the 1st down marker. It looks like he will have the 1st down, but that's prior to the penalty flags, of course.
Of course, and we don't. It is on the offense. I think it was holding right there from number 75 on that Santa Monica offense, which unfortunately is going to bring them back there. But with that play there by DeAndre Chillares, DeAndre Chillares, unfortunately that's going to hurt his team because now not only do they not get the 1st down, but it's going to bring them to 3rd down and 12.
Yes, a 3rd down and 12. I mean, that is a big time down. You need this to go your way if you're the Corsairs because you're losing time. Of course, this is just the first half, so it's nothing to worry about, but the Moorpark Raiders, they have just been playing very well on both sides of the field. This should be a false start penalty against the offense, but you've seen the Raiders, they have just been stepping up on all sides of the field, not just offense and defense, but also special teams. So you need to see this if you're the Corsairs. You need to step up right now, but if the Raiders are playing as well as they have been, they're not going to have a chance to step up.
Definitely not. I mean, every missed opportunity is another opportunity for the opposing team to capitalize. So right now on a 3rd and 12, if they're not able to capitalize on this, of course it's not going to be the game, but it will give Moorpark even more momentum to put up yet another touchdown. And once you start to get to a 3-touchdown lead, Ryan, that's when you start to talk about blowouts and, you know, the game being out of reach. Of course, like we've talked about, it is only the beginning of the 2nd quarter here, but if Moorpark does put up one more touchdown, it will start to make this game a little bit questionable and looking more like a blowout than a competitive football game.
Yes, it will look more like a blowout if Moorpark's able to do exactly what they have been. There's actually going to be a delay of game against the defense. I have not heard that penalty being called in the game of football. I've heard it being called in basketball. In basketball, if you hold the basketball after scoring and you don't give it to the player, usually it's a good 2 to 3 seconds before they're going to actually inbound it. Then it's going to be a delay of game. But in football, I've never seen that.
Yeah, and I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, of course, these refs are a lot older than me too, and they're a lot more knowledge. But I've never heard of a delay of game on the defense. That's technically impossible, Ryan, because the defense can't snap the ball. But I think they meant to say something else. Anyway, we did see a very obvious false start there on Santa Monica offense there by number 19, Carudijo Giovanni. So Giovanni right there. Unfortunately, didn't get the snap count and was unable to get a 1st down.
Yes, they weren't able to, but now right here, there is going to be a false start penalty against the offense. So it's going to be, it actually looks like it's not going to be called, however, because it's still a 3rd down and 7.
Yes, that was a weird call right there. I'm not really sure what they didn't see, but of course you don't know.
Davis throws it to the near sideline. Is going to be incomplete. J.J. Durden there on the coverage and no penalty flag, so it's going to set up a 4th down and 7.
Yeah, 4th down and 7 right there. Great job by J.J. Durden. Great no call by the referee right there. Making a great play and forcing it to a 4th down and putting this Santa Monica offense in a very uncomfortable position.
Yes, it is a very uncomfortable position because it looks like they're going to be going for it, however, but we did see they were set up with a 4th down and 17, and they almost went for it. So if they're doing that, they're going to definitely go for a 4th down and 7, but definitely not the position that you want to be in if you're the Corsairs. Davis will drop back to pass. There's a penalty flag. Don't be surprised if it's a false start. It might actually be a delay of game. It will be a false start. I did see the play clock wind down to 0 right around the time that Davis was able to snap it, was able to actually get that play called. So that could have been a delay of game, but they're just going to call it a false start. And the punting team seems to be coming out. So it should be a punt. Don't be surprised if you see a fake punt, however, because, of course, they've already done that. Not to too much success, though, because they didn't get the 1st down, but still, the fake punt will work.
Definitely, and I mean, it was to great success, but unfortunately wasn't able to to get the first down. So, yeah, ultimately, it wasn't as good as they would like.
The punt will take a Corsair bounce out of bounds inside the 15-yard line, and you see some more penalty flags out here.
Yes, you do. I mean, it looked like maybe there was a late hit there or unnecessary roughness, but unfortunately there is going to be a penalty on the play. Just kind of a side note here, Ryan, for all of our viewers that can't see, this is actually one of the most sold-out crowds that we've seen tonight in Moorpark this year. I mean, we have a very good fan base tonight. I mean, I would say at least about 1,000. So it's good to see that a lot of support coming in on this last game of the season here for the Moorpark Raiders. A lot of families and friends, and it's a very good environment here.
Yes, I believe the most fans that we had this season was the Citrus Cup against Ventura, but that was because Ventura had fans here. Santa Monica City College, if you were actually here, you would see their visitor side of the bleachers is not well populated. But you are right, Nick. It seems like this is the biggest Moorpark Raider fan show out. We did see in the Ventura game that high mark was because of the Ventura fans, but this, it seems like the Moorpark Raiders are showing up, and they're showing their support for their team, knowing that it's the last game, showing the support for the veterans, and just being out here with this atmosphere at Griffith Stadium. But now, as you see, it's going to be a 1st down and 10. Ball placed at the 8-yard line. Going to be a handoff straight up the middle.
And that looked just by the run tab looked like it was Eddie Mbata. Yeah, I can tell just by the way that he moves that was Eddie Mbata right there, but unable to get any yards right there. But of course, when you're pinned up inside your own 10 like this, there is only one option, right, and that is to run the ball. You don't want to risk a pass, especially this close to your own end zone. So, of course, the defense can all pin down on the idea, and they can call a defense accordingly to stopping the run here. So it makes it a lot harder here for the offense. But they are lined up in a pass formation, so I could stand corrected.
This does look like they're going back for a pass on a 2nd down, and it looks like it's going to be a safety. Tanner Darling was sacked in the end zone, so it will be a safety, giving Santa Monica 2 more points with just under 10 minutes left in the first half, 2nd quarter of action.
And that's the kind of stuff I was talking about, Ryan, why it's, of course, not always the smartest to call a pass play inside their own 10-yard line, but maybe Moorpark felt confident in, their offensive line and their ability there to get it done. So, unfortunately, they are going to take a safety. I guess the only good thing that you can say about that is they didn't turn the ball over, so therefore it's only 2 points instead of 16. 6. And so, of course, it hurts, and it, kind of moves the momentum back over to Santa Monica sideline, but it's only 2 points, Ryan. I mean, it's a very tiny dent in the scoreboard, so Moorpark shouldn't have to worry too much about it.
Yes, as you mentioned, it is 2, not 6. So you don't want to get in the spot. You don't want to get in the position where you're fumbling the football, where you're passing it and it's intercepted right there, giving them an easy 6 points. If I was Moorpark, I'd say, of course, I might be a little disappointed because we did give up the 2 points, but I'm not that mad because of how my defense has been playing. I'm not that angry because I know my defense will step up, and I know that we're not going to allow that touchdown.
Of course, and there's a ton of time left in this game, right?
Now here comes the punt. Of course, after the safety, there's a punt. And he just kind of slips. He trips on his own 2 feet. There are penalty flags thrown down in the field. I did see Giovanni, number 19, push one of our Raiders down on the ground. A little bit of a cheap shot there by the Corsairs, but it seems like the Raiders are all okay and coming up with a big special teams play.
Yeah, and of course, in the last game of the season, there's frustration here for Santa Monica, especially because of their record, only been able to come away with 1 win this year. You see, as it looks like, they're starting to lose a little bit this game, that unfortunately, it looks like there's a little bit more anger, showing, especially from the last game of the season. There's going to be a lot more emotions here, but it does look like there's a little bit of heat coming out there from that sideline.
It's actually going to be a personal foul against the Raiders. Interesting to see that because the only player that I saw fly down on the ground was a Raider. That was, of course, because the Corsairs were pushing him down, but they do call it against Raymond Thomas, number 25 of Moorpark. Interesting to see that. Of course, we were not down on the field, so we actually didn't see what was technically going on from their vantage point, but it seems like the Raiders will have the penalty against them, which is going to be marking the Corsairs already inside Raider territory. It looks like the ball is going to be placed at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, very nice field position for the Corsairs there. Unfortunately, yeah, that was a strange call, but of course we do not have the same vision that that the officials do. So you can't blame them for the calls that they make here. With that being said, this Moorpark defense needs to capitalize on this unfortunate field position and make something happen.
Some nice juke moves right there by Hirota on the sideline, on the far sideline, was able to get to the outside, but he stepped out of bounds just about 3 yards past the first down marker, but still a nice 13-yard gain by Hirota.
Hirota, they're so quick, too. He's been very shifty all night, and every time that he gets the ball, it seems like he takes it for a first down. So Moorpark definitely needs to start keying on him more and making sure that they can stop him and contain him so that he can't make those plays happen.
Yes, you have to contain him. I mean, he is the #1 running back out here for Santa Monica, but the defense, they have been stepping up very well against these rushing offenses, so you think that Moorpark would be, of course, playing. I guess they have been playing well, but maybe stopping these big-time runs. But it seems like Hirota is just able to get past them, so hopefully Moorpark will be able to make sure that they're able to step up and stop this rushing game. There is going to be a penalty against Moorpark. It looks like it was roughing the passer against the defense, so it's going to bring them up 15 yards, setting up an automatic first down for the Corsairs.
Yeah, and the Corsairs keep catching these lucky plays here, Ryan. I mean, right there, they get another. I guess it's not lucky, but I guess they're playing with their head on the shoulders here, and Moorpark's starting to play a little bit recklessly here as the Corsairs are able to move down the field here without actually having to move down the field. The ball just keeps moving down the field because of these penalties here. So they're in great field position, knocking on the red zone. I think they're on the 21-yard line here. So Moorpark needs to start stepping it up on defense.
Hirota gets the handoff and is pushed forward for a 2-yard gain. Ball's going to be placed at the 19-yard line inside the red zone now for Santa Monica.
And yes, they have just cracked the red zone here on the 19-yard line, it looks like. So with that being said, here it is 2nd down and 8. This Moorpark defense has got to step it up right here. You did see that they were able to stop Hirota for only a 2-yard gain. That's an excellent job there. So it looks like they're starting to key on him a little bit more and able to stop him with his super quick wheels that he's got, Ryan. So let's see if this Moorpark defense can lock him down here.
Yeah, 2nd down and 8 coming up. 8:40 left in the first half. Davis with the quick slant route is going to be incomplete, however.
And nice job there by that Moorpark secondary there, of course. Veteran there, Matthew Drake. Veteran for this year. He is a freshman, pardon me, but he has been showing like he's playing like a veteran all year. So Matthew Drake making a nice play, breaking up that pass and causing a 3rd and 8.
Yes, a 3rd down and 8 coming up here for Santa Monica. Moorpark did give up 2 points, but once again, they did not give up those 6 points. And I said, if you're a Moorpark Raider, you're fine with giving up the 2 points as long as you don't give up the 6 points on the defensive side. And it seems like the defense is stepping up right here. Davis is in the shotgun formation. There's going to be a penalty flag. It should be a false start against the offense. At least that's what it seems like. And yes, they're going to be calling a false start against Santa Monica, bringing up a 3rd down and 13 off of the 5-yard penalty.
Right there against Hirota, too. It looked like maybe he was a little bit antsy. He might have been getting the ball there and just took a step too early right there. So that's going to help Moorpark out even more. We've seen countless penalties tonight, right? I mean, I'm almost for sure over 10 penalties tonight just in, a lot of them have been unnecessary roughness, but of course we have seen a couple of offsides and delay of games. So this game has been filled with a lot of mental mistakes here. So whoever can capitalize, which right now it looks like Moorpark's been doing a better job of that, can capitalize on these mental mistakes here is going to win the game. And as I say that, there looks like to be another penalty yet again on Santa Monica's offense.
Yes, on a 3rd down and 13, there's going to be a penalty. The play clock was winding down, but it's going to be a false start against the offense once again, backing them up another 5 yards, setting up a 3rd down and 18 with just about 8:30 left in the first half. Moorpark still has a 21-9 lead.
And as I said that, Ryan, I mean, there was another mental error right there. So Moorpark for sure needs to capitalize. Of course, look for the deep ball here on a 3rd and 18. Expect nothing less than a pass right there.
Wow. I would not be surprised if there's going to be a false start penalty. There was kind of an illegal hit as well. I mean, there's actually going to be a timeout from Moorpark before that, but as you saw, one of the receivers tried to take a cheap shot at our defensive backs right after the flag was called. I mean, that was kind of an unnecessary hit, a cheap shot, I would say, by the Corsairs.
Definitely, the Corsairs are starting to play a little bit skeptical, if you want to call it that. But Moorpark just got to play within their own means here, keep their head on a swivel, especially in the last game of the season. back in the day when I used to play ball, like back in the day, last year, Ryan, what we do is whenever a team would start to play dirty, you definitely got to keep your head on a swivel because, of course, you want to be safe. But when you have guys that aren't playing to play safe, you definitely want to make sure that you're aware at all times of any sort of late hits. So Moorpark defense, I mean, these guys can definitely handle their own here. They just want to make sure that they don't have to deal with any late hits or anything that can cause injury here. So if the Moorpark Raiders do what they do best, and that is just play like they always play, they'll make sure that they don't let the Corsairs here get a first down or even any points on the board here. So just look for those late kind of hits, especially as the Corsairs have been kind of showing that message here. And just play with your head on a swivel, but also, of course, play smart and play fast and physical like this Moorpark Raider defense is known for doing time and time again.
And one of the things that Moorpark has done great is when a team's playing almost illegal hits like that against them, like Fullerton, they have not reciprocated those hits. There is going to be a pass deep down the middle of the field, a little bit of a show-off move after the catch, but it's going to be a big-time reception there to number 13, Elijah Boykin. He's the wide receiver on that reception. But as I was saying, Moorpark, no matter how, I guess you could say, dirty a team plays, it seems like Moorpark always steps up and they don't reciprocate that dirtiness. They play their style of Raider football, which is great to see and commendable.
Definitely. And Boykin right there, that was a nice play right there. I like the play call by Santa Monica spreading out that defense so they weren't able to cover zone. It looked like they were playing man up right there. And you saw on that prior play, they ran a little switch route on the bottom of the field, which pulled the corner and one of the safeties away and left the middle of the field wide open for Boykin. So that was a pretty nice call there, Ryan. So unfortunately, Moorpark did give up the first down, but you got to have your hats off to Santa Monica for a nice play call.
Yes, you do have to give your hats off. That play call was superb, but after that first down run, it was only a 1-yard run by Hirota, so Moorpark stepping up big time with only 7:30 left in this first half. The play clock's down to 5, so they're going to have to snap it quickly. It's going to be another handoff. Hirota trying to get some room. It looks like he's going to be down right at about the 5-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and goal at the 5.
This game's been very physical tonight, Ryan. We've seen a lot of these plays here with a little bit of pushing and shoving after here. We got actually, as I said, there's an injured player here for this Santa Monica offense there, number 74, or pardon me, number 74, who seems to be wobbling off the field a little bit here, but he's not registered on the roster here, so I'm not really sure who that is. He might have switched jerseys. We see that time and time again here, but unfortunately Santa Monica is going to be losing a player right there.
It's never good to see it's never good to see any of these injuries, no matter what team you're rooting for. But unfortunately, it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Moorpark Raiders. So it should be, at least is what the referee said, it should be a automatic first down. At least that's my inclination. So it's going to be half the distance of the goal line. It should be right at about the 2 to 3 yard line, 2.5 yard line we'll just go with. But it's going to be a first down and goal now. So the Moorpark Raiders defense has to step up big time right now.
Definitely, especially when you're on the 2.5 yard line. I mean, it's going to be a third, pardon me, like you said, a first down here. So
yes, and the quarterback's able to sneak in for a quarterback keeper touchdown. The Corsairs getting their second touchdown of the game and their second rushing touchdown of the game, as Hirota had the first one, and now Davis gets one of his own.
And Paul Davis looking to finally have some success here in the run game. Of course, it's only 3 yards, so we're not able to see what would have happened if he was in the middle of the field, per se. But he was able to get the objective, and that was get the touchdown there. So Paul Davis right there able to put it up. Looks like this offensive line is starting to work a little bit better. Surprisingly, as one of their starting linemen come out, they actually put up a touchdown right after, so maybe they're playing with a little bit more drive and passion after that play.
Here comes the PAT attempt. It is up and it's good. Moorpark Raiders are still winning in this matchup 21-16 now after the PAT attempt with just under 7 minutes left in this first half, second quarter of action. But wow, we have another break in action. We're going to thank a few more of our sponsors once again. We cannot do without our sponsors, so thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream. In-N-Out, freshness you can taste. In-N-Out. Harley's Simi Bowl presents College Cosmic Night every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to midnight. $8 with a college ID and $12 without a college ID at Harley's Simi Bowl. And check out the offers at Camarillo and Valley Bowl as well. Powerade, Fuel to power through. Powerade. 9 Design. Print and interactive media. 9 Design. And Corner Bakery. Proud to support all scholar athletes at Moorpark College. At Corner Bakery with all 16 intercollegiate athletics at Moorpark College. Here comes the kickoff. It's going to be recovered right around the 17-yard line by Desmond Davis, number 2. Just pushing through. Wow, great job right there. Great return to the 33-yard line.
Desmond Davis right there, you saw him let the ball kind of bounce so he could catch it clean, and his wheels are so quick that he can accelerate so fast that he didn't have to worry about trying to catch it in stride. But Davis right there taking it all the way down to the 33-yard line and setting that offense up for a nice field position.
Now Tanner Darling leading his offense out on the field. Mark Martin is in. Bradley Canepa, the fullback, number 42, is also in the game.
Bradley Canepa definitely can lay a hit on you, so you got to be careful. Watch for him to open up a huge hole for Mark Martin.
Mark Martin gets the handoff, able to stiff arm a defender. Wow, getting a 5-yard run. That's a power run.
Oh, Mark Martin's so good when it comes to close contact and pure strength. Mark Martin able to pick up, which looks like it's going to be maybe a loss of 1 or a no gain run right there, and he turns it into about 5 yards. So great job from Bradley Kappa too, also blowing up a hole right there and allowing Mark Martin to spring for 5 yards.
Yes, Bradley Canepa, great player, great fullback, but there is an injured athlete down on the field for the Corsairs. Once again, as we say, we are a Moorpark College broadcast, but if you know about sports, any sport, you never want to see a player go down. You never want to see a player be injured, no matter if you're a Raider fan or if you're a Corsair fan. If the other team gets an injury, you still feel that. It hits your heart. It hits you in the gut because you're thinking, if that's your son, if that's your friend, if that's one of your teammates, you're going to feel the same way. So we are very sorry that Corsair went down, and hopefully he is just A-okay and able to come back out here for Santa Monica.
Definitely. You never want to see a player go down, right?
And now on a 2nd down and 5, Darling has almost about a 7-step drop. Hits Nico Lima right there, number 8. Another reception for him. He actually has a touchdown in this game and able to give them a big-time first down inside Corsair territory at the 45-yard line.
Nice connection from Darling to Lima right there, picking up a nice 23 yards it looks like. Lima, Mr. Reliable, I mean, he doesn't get the ball as much as we'd like to see him, and of course as much as he'd like, Ryan, but when he does get the ball, he always seems to pick up first downs or touchdowns like we saw earlier tonight.
On the 1st down and 10, it's going to be a handoff. Mark Martin able to get about 3 yards on the carry. It's going to now set up a 2nd down and 7. And the public address announcer has just made an announcement telling all of the veterans, all Moorpark Raiders, student veterans, and all veterans in general that are here at Moorpark College to be able to make your way down towards the field. Once again, it is Veterans Day weekend, so we're going to celebrate all of the veterans here, all of the men in uniforms. We can't do without you. You are the true heroes, so thank you very much for doing what you do. And we always, of course, like to just celebrate them. And, I mean, every day should be a Veterans Day, but we're definitely going to celebrate it on this weekend. So thank you very much, and you deserve to be honored at this game.
Definitely. We appreciate it very much. I mean, we can't do anything that none of our freedoms would be able to happen without the sacrifice of our veterans. So we respect them very much.
But now coming up here, back to the game, 2nd down and 12. Darling, a quick check down pass to Vinny Corso, turns into about an 11-yard gain right there. Just 1 yard shy of the first down marker with 5 minutes left in the first half, 2nd quarter of action.
Nice job there by Curtis Cooley. You saw kind of spring a block there for Vinny to help him pick up an extra couple yards. And those are the kind of teammate plays that you need that will help you win games. So good job there.
Yeah, so now a 3rd down and 1 coming up. It's going to be a penalty flag, but Anthony McLean, number 28, is the running back in the game right now. Great to see him, the sophomore running back, and he has been getting a lot of snaps in this game, so it's great to see him out here. But once again, there is a penalty flag, and at least from the demeanor of the Raiders, it looks to be against Moorpark.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like it's going to be against Moorpark. I think it's just only going to be a false start here, potentially, because they did blow the whistle before the play really did develop. But anyway, you look at it, you still don't want to see that happen to your team. But, yeah, it is great to see, as you point out, Ryan, Anthony McLean here. One of the faster running backs here, not as fast as, of course, Davis, but he is very quick as well and has wheels to hurt you deep and to put up points if you let him get to the outside.
Yes, he could turn the wheels on, but it's going to be against Moorpark. So unfortunately, it will be against Moorpark. For some reason, the referee did make the offsides penalty gesture. He didn't do a false start gesture, but we basically get what he's saying. He's saying that it's just going to be some movement before the snap by the offensive line of Moorpark, setting up a 3rd down and 6. So now the 3rd down and 6 coming up here for the Raiders. Ball at the 41-yard line. Corsairs 41-yard line with just 4:30 left in the first half, and it looks like the pass is completed. It's completed on the near sideline to Curtis Collier, number 33, for the first down.
Great job there by Curtis Collier there, snagging that ball and moving these chains here, keeping that drive alive as we're starting to wind down into the end of the first half here.
Yes, winding down at the end of the first half. Moorpark trying to get this drive. Almost an offsides penalty. Darling trying to get open. Has nowhere to go, and the ball's actually loose. It looks like it's going to be a fumble. Recovered by the Corsairs. The first turnover of the game from Moorpark results in a late first half turnover. The fumble was recovered and knocked out by number 91, Bryce Harvey, the defensive lineman.
And of course, you never want to see that happen. Moorpark didn't, of course, the luck didn't go their way right there. We did see an offsides call that wasn't called. And then, of course, because of that, Tanner Darling gets sacked and loses the ball there with the fumble recovery by Santa Monica. So, unfortunately, momentum switching back over Santa Monica side. But with this Moorpark defense coming in hot and ready to go, I think they're ready to play and give the ball back over to this offense.
Yes, and they are hot and ready to go. I mean, it is a pretty chilly night here in Moorpark College. It is a beautiful night to play football out here. But, however, as you said, when you're playing this game, it does not matter how cold you are. It does not matter how warm you are on the field. You are going to get warm. You are going to get pumped up when you're out there. When you make that hit, when you make that nice play, as we do see, it's going to be an incomplete pass on a 1st down and 10.
Nice job there by Cameron Townsend coming in right there and laying a hit on Davis. Clean, but he did lay a nice hit. So good job right there, causing a 2nd and 10 with an incomplete pass from Davis to the sideline.
See, that's one thing that I like about the Raiders, as I mentioned. Even when another team is laying those cheap shots, those cheap hits that they're getting penalties for, Moorpark, they always seem to make the nice, clean hit. As you see, it was not a roughing the passer penalty. It was just a nice, clean hit that they were able to make.
Definitely.
Now on a 2nd down and 10 is going to be a handoff. Nofoa down for a 2-yard gain, so unable to get out of it. Excuse me, that's actually not Nofoa. That's number 26, Ricky Richardson. We have not seen him in the game so far, but number 26, Ricky Richardson, getting that 2-yard carry.
And I like the play call there by that defense, Moorpark's defense, pardon me. They saw they called a corner blitz, which you hardly ever see because it's such a risky play, but J.J. Turner was coming off the edge right there, but the running back did go the other way, but it didn't matter anyway because of that strong defense that the Moorpark defensive line has. They were able to stop him for only 2 yards, so good play right there by that Moorpark defense.
Now on a 3rd down and 8, it's going to be a check down pass, but it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Giovanni, number 19, setting up a 4th down and 8 coming up here for the Corsairs with just about 3:10 left in the first half, 2nd quarter of action. The Moorpark Raiders still have a 21-16 lead.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Drew Mathis right there. We saw him get his hands in the way and was able to cause disruption to break up that pass. So like we talked about, I mean, they do step up time and time again, this Moorpark defense, and they are going to give the offensive ball back with 3 minutes to go and Moorpark retaining all of its timeouts. So good. They're looking good right now, Ryan.
Hayden Galvin just able to get on the field before the before the ball was snapped. Vinny Corso able to return it and able to get a pretty good gain on that return. He's going to be down at the 44-yard line, their own 44-yard line, for 3 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, that was a nice job right there. Of course, Vinny Corso, Mr. Reliable, especially on the specialties, picking up another 20 yards right there, and he can do it time and time again. I mean, he's almost at 600 yards this year on punt returns alone. So, I mean, Vinny Corso, definitely a deadly threat every time he gets the ball in his hands.
Yes, he is a deadly threat. Vinny Corso, number 20, the slot receiver, the punt returner, the kickoff returner, the quarterback. I mean, I could go on and on. This kid does everything out here. He did everything for the Westlake Warriors, but he also does everything at the collegiate level here at Moorpark College, and we're just glad to have him. He is one thing that is great for Vinny Corso. He is a great athlete, and he's getting Division I scholarships, but the bad thing is we're not going to have him for more years here at Moorpark. We want to be selfish a little bit and have him as long as possible, but Vinny Corso, just a great athlete. I hope he has just a great career after Moorpark, but there is an offside penalty against the defense, so it'll still be 4th down, a 5-yard penalty, setting up a 4th down and 3. It looks to be a false start now against the offense, so just backing them up to the original spot where they were going to punt it from.
And the worst part about it is when you got someone like Vinny, you would think, oh, if you're on the Santa Monica punt team, you would think, oh, okay, great, we get another chance to kick it and stop him from running it out. But when you're someone like Vinny, he just thinks, okay, great, I get another chance to potentially take this ball back for a touchdown. So when you have someone like Vinny, it's almost worse that you have to punt to him again because he'll make you pay.
Yes, if he's able to get 20 yards on one punt, think of what he could get on another. They did get lucky, however. They had a sky-high punt that just stayed in the air for almost an eternity, so they weren't able to give Vinny the return. But, I mean, when he is able to have that return, he is deadly. But the Moorpark Raiders still standing up at their own 19-yard line.
Yeah, he's very deadly in space. But with that being said, here comes someone else who's very deadly in space, and that's Tanner Darling and this entire receiving corps that comes along with it. So this powerful offense are getting another chance to put some points up on the board and be looking for a lot more deep passes today, Ryan, in this drive, pardon me.
Yes, now coming up with the 1st down and 10 is going to be a screen pass. Eddie Nbata, number 6, breaks a tackle. That should have been a face mask penalty. I think you'll agree with me as well right there, Nick, but able to get a 1st down. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. You'd still like to see that face mask penalty being called, but still, Eddie Nbata able to get that nice gain for a 1st down.
Yeah, Eddie Nbata right there. You saw right there him break a face mask tackle, cut back and breaks a shoelace tackle, and that's why he's another one of these dominant running backs that's able to get the ball. The number 2 leading rusher on this Moorpark team as well.
Yes, he is a great, listed as a tight end, but a great athlete here just overall for the Moorpark Raiders. There is going to be a penalty flag thrown down on the 1st down and 10. It was Eddie Nbata, number 6, on the carry.
Yeah, about right there, able to get maybe a yard or two, but another penalty yet again. I think this is potentially one of the most penalized halves of Moorpark football that we've seen in a long time, Ryan.
Yes, it is, and it seems like most of them are going up against the Corsairs, but this time it does go against the Raiders. It is a holding penalty, bringing them back 10 yards, so it's going to be a 1st down and 20 coming up here because that 1st down, it does not count, so it's just going to be a replay of the 1st down, but just 10 yards back.
Right, and of course you never want to see that happen, but with that being said, look for a lot more pass plays, especially as the time is starting to wind out to only a minute 40 now. Looks like Tanner Darling's dropping back right now as I say that.
Yes, Darling checks down right there to Ryan Matlock. We mentioned him in the pregame show, already has a reception, a touchdown reception for 84 yards. That was that big-time touchdown reception to start off the game for a 7-0 lead for the Raiders. But, I mean, Ryan Matlock, a great receiver, and I'm glad that we're seeing him more and more in this game.
Of course, and I think this Moorpark offense and the coaching staff is starting to realize the potential of Matlock, so they've been giving the ball a lot more.
And now here comes a handoff, able to get just about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker. That was Mark Martin on the carry. That was about a 5-yard gain coming off of that 3rd down and 9. Eddie Nbata, number 6 on the carry.
There you go, Ryan. I was going to say, too, yeah, because sometimes it's hard to tell, of course, with their jerseys getting messed up, but sometimes it's kind of neat about running backs is they all have their own style of running, so you can sometimes notice, just without seeing the jersey number, who's running the ball, you know what I mean? Edge Nbata is a little bit more shifty. Mark Martin's a little bit more, drop your shoulder and run. And then, of course, Davis is just Mr. Speedster, just hitting the corner and kind of avoiding everybody.
So Edian-Bata with the first down, 35 seconds left and counting in this first half, 21-16. Moorpark ahead right now. Darling on the fake handoff deep down the field. Ryan Matlock intended receiver, but I think there should be a pass interference penalty called. But there is a flag in the backfield, but I mean, that looked like a pass interference penalty if I've seen one, at least with what they're calling in this game so far. There is still 24 seconds left. Maybe the referees did see something that we can't see down on the field.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, it looks like there's going to be a penalty against Moorpark, which is, of course, you never want to see that happen. But with that penalty, you know, it does come down to 24 seconds left here. It is going to be a repeat of a second down. There is 3 timeouts, though, for Santa Monica here. So Moorpark is going to have to get a first down here. And pardon me, that's going to be 3rd down and 25. So Moorpark's definitely going to have to throw the ball here. They can't take a knee to end out the quarter because Santa Monica does have 3 timeouts.
Yes, about a 3rd down and 25. It's going to be a handoff. It seemed like that Tanner Darling wasn't wanting to hand it off almost. He was kind of holding it a little bit, but eventually did hand it off, but it's going to wind down. So we will be going to halftime. We will have the halftime show coming up, but Nick, what are your last thoughts of this first half?
I thought this was a great first half played so far. I saw a lot of great things from both teams, but especially Moorpark dominating on all aspects of the ball, on all 3 sides of the ball here. So ultimately, a great first half of football, but it's probably going to be even a greater second half of football, Ryan.
Yes, it has been a great first half. So now we're done with the first half of action here at Griffith Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders. The Moorpark Raiders are ahead 21-16 against the Santa Monica City College Corsairs. We'll be back with actually a halftime show. The Raider halftime show will be going on in just a few moments, so make sure that you tune into that. We'll also have some more festivities down on the field during halftime to celebrate Veterans Day weekend. But once again, the Moorpark Raiders are ahead 21-16. So we'll be back with the halftime show in just a bit, only here on the Moorpark Raider live stream.
Veterans Week 2017. This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave. Tonight's Associated Students of Moorpark College Athletics would like to salute America's heroes and celebrate the service of all U.S. military veterans that served our country proud. Anyone with us tonight that has served in the armed forces, please stand at this time and be recognized for your service. Fans, please join me in thanking these men and women here this afternoon that sacrificed for our nation's freedom and way of life. Thank you, veterans, for your service to America. Will everyone now please stand and remove your caps to honor America as our own Moorpark College student, Betty Jean Hanna, sings God Bless America.
God bless America, land the prairies to the ocean, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you. Today is Veterans Day 2017. It is a day to honor all American veterans, both living and dead. Veterans Day is largely intended to thank living veterans for their dedicated and loyal service to our country. Always take the time to let them know that we deeply appreciate the sacrifices they've made in the lives of each and every one of us here tonight, and most importantly, to keep our great country free. To the veterans of Moorpark College, we would like to present you with a token of appreciation and pass for free admission to all Moorpark College athletic sporting events for the year for your service and sacrifices for our country. Presenting tonight are members of our Athletic Captains Council, associated students, and our 2017 football team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Luis Sanchez, president of Moorpark College, and it's my privilege to welcome you here this evening on a very special night and for a very special purpose on this Veterans Day. At a time when our nation seems so divided in so many ways, there are some things we can all agree upon. One of them is that great experiment that we started 240 years ago is still worthy of preservation, and our ideals of liberty and justice for all are absolutely worthy of an additional 240 years. And the other thing that we know for sure, whether we're Republicans or Democrats, left or right, that the only way to preserve our nation and its ideals is to have courageous men and women who will defend our nation as the veterans have that we're honoring tonight. And so it's our privilege to recognize some very special people. And I would begin by Mark Emery, the U.S. Navy Seabees. And second, Samantha Medellin, Marines veteran. And Ron Williams, Navy veteran. Kent Jacobson, U.S. Navy official, Senior Chief Quartermaster and referee. Kevin Pavis, U.S. Navy, Game Management. Quentin Lowe, 4 years, served on board the USS Theodore Roosevelt from 2013 to 2016. Jennifer Costin, who served 4 years, U.S. Navy, second-class petty officer on the USS Nimitz and the USS Truman. Specialist Keeling, Brendan, Army National Guard, Alabama and California. Marlin, U.S. Navy, father of Moorpark student Ivana Dunn. Ivana Dunn. And daughter, Iana Dunn, U.S. Navy and Moorpark College student. and Tim Loomis, U.S. Army Sergeant, Moorpark faculty, and retired Oxnard Police Department. Thank you so much, folks.
Let's give President Sanchez a great thank you for that, and let's also give a thunderous round of applause to our Moorpark College veterans and all veterans who have so proudly served our country.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moorpark Raider Halftime Report. Here at Griffith Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders, presented by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. My name is Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator, joined alongside Nick Federico, color commentator analyst. And here, the first half has been great for the Moorpark Raiders. 21-16. The Raiders have just been dominating. Of course, the Santa Monica City College Corsairs, they might have not deserved all 16 points, just the way that the Moorpark Raider defense has been playing tonight. But the Moorpark Raiders have just been playing excellent on the offensive end. Tanner Darling is just letting it fly tonight. I mean, he's hitting everybody. He has Cameron Prentice-Brown on a touchdown, Ryan Matlock on a touchdown, Nico Lima on a touchdown. What do you got to say about Tanner Darling and just surveying the field and how great he's playing out there?
Well, I think Tanner Darling's getting a lot more comfortable tonight, right? I mean, we've seen him through the years. He was a little shaky in the beginning, but as the season started to progress, and now it's come to an end, I think he's gotten very comfortable. And I think because it's this Moorpark Raiders' last game, they're starting to all play as a team and play as a full unit. We talked about them time and time again how this was their best game. No, this was their best game. Cerritos we thought was their best game. But tonight, up to this point, this has been their best game, right? We talked about he hit Matlock on a route. He also hit a couple other of these receivers on some deep balls here. Cameron Prentice-Brown and Nico Lima.
Hello, hello. Test 1, 2, 3.
Also, there's been a lot of great things done today. And so we've seen a lot of success tonight from Nico Lima. You talked about Cameron Prentice-Brown, and of course also Ryan Matlock, the new Mr. Reliable, if you would say. So Tanner Darling's definitely been showing up tonight, and he's been on the money, Ryan. So I'm very excited of what Tanner's going to do in the second half, and I'm very proud of what he's done in the first half. I mean, I think we all are as Moorpark Raider fans. I mean, he's really stepped up, and he's starting to grow into that quarterback that we all are hoping for him to become.
Exactly, and speaking of stepping up, also Tien, one of our cameramen, he's also helping us out. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but coming up in the clutch. Thank you very much, Tien. But as you mentioned, Tanner Darling, he is just a great quarterback, but also something that we've had the running game. It's looking pretty nice so far. Desmond Davis, we talked about. Mark Martin, we talked about. We didn't talk about Anthony McLean, number 28, and Raymond Thomas, number 25. Both of those two are sophomores. So they're sophomores here for Moorpark Raiders, but they are stepping up big time and they're getting the snaps that they deserve. What does it feel like? Of course, you have played on a senior night. What does it feel like when you play on a senior night? This is sophomore night, but basically the senior night for community college football. What does it feel like to be able to play like that and be able to have all of your sophomores out on the field with guys like Raymond Thomas and Anthony McLean not getting too much playing time during the season, but getting that so far tonight?
Well, I mean, it's a great feeling, Ryan. You're playing out here with your brothers, and you enjoy every minute a little bit more. Every play is a little bit more sentimental. I mean, you do play. You don't think about the emotions too much until that final buzzer has gone off. Pardon me. The clock is finally ran down, and you see that just 3 zeros on the board, and that's when it starts to hit you. But it's a great feeling, Ryan. I mean, it's a great night to enjoy, potentially, because some of these guys, they aren't going to be moving on. They are going to be calling it quits and pursue different aspects of their life. So with that being said, this is a lot of these guys' last games being sophomore night with people like McLean and Thomas. So, it's a little bit more emotional, but it's also very fun and very exciting to play one more time with your buddies.
It is very fun and exciting. And one of the great things that we do have here, with it being the Veterans Day weekend, we had actually President Luis Sanchez. President Sanchez, if you don't know him, if you haven't been out to Moorpark College too many times this year, We have President Sanchez. He's just a great president. He actually walks around. He knows most of the students by their name, and he's just so informative with the students, and he was actually celebrating a few of the veterans that we do have here at Moorpark College and making sure that they do get recognized for their service. So playing for a cause such as breast cancer awareness that you do get to play for in football, you get to play for Veterans Day here in football. What does those days mean? What do those games mean to not only support your team and play well for your team and your brothers, but also to be able to support your Army, your military, anybody out there that are supporting you overseas?
Well, of course it's very special, and you're very blessed as a football player to have a schedule that's set up, in early August and finish all the way through or into the beginning of November, as we're talking about junior college football. But it's a very great feeling. It's very special, but it's very unique because in a way it's almost like a battle too. Of course, you're not fighting for your life out here in football, but it does kind of mirror and represent our military and how they sit and fight. They don't sit, pardon me. They fight every single day for our lives, and it's a battle that they face with an enemy, all across the country. A lot of these players are just going to be military, and a lot of them have family in the military. So for them to be able to play for a lot of our military members, it's a very beautiful thing, Ryan. So it's very special, and it's a great cause and a great purpose.
Yes, it is a beautiful thing to be able to see them playing like this out here. So Moorpark Raiders 21-16 lead. What are your thoughts going into the second half? What do you think they should change? What do you think they should do differently? What do you think they should keep on doing to be able to maintain this lead and hopefully get the victory for Moorpark College?
Well, one thing they should definitely keep doing is the run game. I mean, we've seen that never lets the Moorpark Raiders down. Whenever you're in doubt, just go to the run game with people like Davis, Mark Martin, and Eddie Mbata. I mean, of course, all these guys are solid runners, so you can always go there. I do want to see a little bit more of the pass game because, of course, you run the ball. You do that to set up the pass game, so I'm looking to see a lot more passes tonight.
Well, I hope the Moorpark Raiders are able to finish off this game with the victory. So far, at the end of the first half of action, the Moorpark Raiders are ahead 21-16 against the Corsairs. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to the Moorpark Raider halftime report here at Griffith Stadium, sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. We'll be back with second half action in just a bit, only here on the Moorpark Raider live stream.
Dedication and heroism, we can enjoy the freedoms we have today. Thank you, veterans. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We ask that you remain standing now as Moorpark College's own Betty Jean Hanna is going to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er ramparts we watched were so gently streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in
you so much. Please be seated now while we get a word of welcome by Moorpark College board member Bernardo Perez.
Not here. Not here.
Check that. We're now going to move on to our sophomore appreciation night, starting with our sophomore cheerleaders. Cheerleader from Moorpark High School, Gabby Fahrenkopf. From Simi Valley High School, Summer Fitch. From El Camino High School, Savannah Hernandez.
Dedication and heroism, we can enjoy the freedoms we have today. Thank you, veterans. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We ask that you remain standing now as Moorpark College's own Betty Jean Hanna is going to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much. Please be seated now while we get a word of welcome by Moorpark College board member Bernardo Perez.
Not here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Moorpark Raider live stream here at Griffith Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders. We are now ready to start the second half of action between the Moorpark Raiders and the Santa Monica City College Corsairs. The Raiders have a 21-16 lead against the Corsairs right now, just playing tremendously out here on the field, and hopefully going to continue that on, as we do see the Raiders will be receiving the first kickoff of the second half, so they will have the first chance to be able to maintain this lead, the first chance to be able to put more scores up on the board.
Definitely. I mean, and it's a great scenario to have when you get the ball in the second half, Ryan, especially coming off a nice, well-executed first half, and now you see the Moorpark Raiders get the ball second half, especially with Vinny Corso coming down the field right there.
And Vinny Corso, he was hit hard, and the football comes out. Still no word of who has it. Of course, both sides are going to point towards their direction to say that they have the football, but right now it does look like Moorpark did have the football. There is an injured Corsair down on the field, however, but Moorpark Raiders' Vinny Corzo had a nice return to start the game. Unfortunately, it did result in a fumble and an injured athlete.
Of course, and like we talked about, you don't really ever want to see that. We never want to see someone go down. He is able to get up on his own 2 feet, and he'll be all right. Moorpark did not retain the ball. It looks like they gave it up right there. So unfortunately, the momentum is going to shift right back over to Santa Monica, who started to build that momentum at the end of the first half, Ryan. So look for them to come out very explosive and trying to put some points up early on the board here.
Yes, so as you just said, here comes the Corsairs. The Corsairs have the football. Once again, this is Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator. Join alongside Nick Federico, my color commentator analyst for you this evening. Right now, the Corsairs have a first down and 10, and the ball is almost intercepted right there by Hayden Galvin, but there is a penalty flag down on the field.
Yeah, right off his fingertips, and when you get opportunities like that, you got to execute them. It looks like he's talking. You can see Hayden right there, a little frustrated with himself, but he'll make it up on the next play like he always does. But with that being said, it looks like there is a penalty on the play right here. It looks like it's called against the Moorpark Raiders here, so unfortunately that is going to move the ball closer to that end zone right there and put the Corsairs in a better position to score.
Yes, it is going to be against the Raiders. So off of that first down and 10 from the 37, it's going to be moved up, and wow, he's walking far ahead. That's going to be about a 15-yard penalty, so that personal foul against the Raiders with unnecessary roughness penalty. So it's going to set up a first down and 10, ball at the 22. Davis with the handoff. Handoff going on the near sideline, has some room in front of him, able to get inside the 10-yard line there for Hirota.
Hirota, he's so quick. You see how his feet never stop moving right there, Ryan, and that's what the difference between good and great running backs are. The difference is right there is when someone gives up on the play right there, and you saw right there, he looked like he was about to get wrapped up, but Hirota keeps moving his feet. He's able to cut it back outside and turn it up for a nice 10-yard gain right there. So what could have been a loss of about 1 or 2, he turns into a 10-yard gain. So Santa Monica is very lucky to have him on their team right there.
Yes, now a first down and goal, ball from the 7-yard line coming up here for the Corsairs. Knocking on the door of the end zone. Davis with the quarterback option. He's going to pitch it to Hirota. Hirota trying to get room on the outside. Cutting back middle. Diving forward for the end zone, but he's going to be about a yard shy.
A nice job by the Moorpark Raiders. They're trying to swarm to Hirota because he's so quick, and they understand his potential when he gets the ball in his hands. And we saw right there the entire Moorpark defense kind of flow with him, and they were able to stop him a yard short of the touchdown right there. So this is going to be a second down and 1 right here. But we've seen the Moorpark Raiders and how deadly they are on the 1-yard line and how they do not break very easily when they are on a first and goal or second and goal.
Yes, now coming up a second down and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. A handoff to Hirota. Hirota looks like he's in. And yes, it's going to be a touchdown for Hirota and the Corsairs. That is Hirota's second rushing touchdown of the game, giving Santa Monica a 1-point lead prior to the PAT attempt.
And right there, Santa Monica has regained the lead right there, Ryan. I think, this is the first time they've had the lead all night. So they did tie it up earlier when they made it 7-7, but it's the first time they've been able to capture the lead here. So this game has been a game of penalties, of mental mistakes, of battles, and a lot of unlucky/lucky plays, depending on what side you look at it here, Ryan. So right there, nice job there by Santa Monica, able to capitalize on Vinny Corso's fumble, and they turn it into 6. So what the Moorpark Raiders got to do now is, they just got to calm down here. I mean, we've seen how good and how great this Moorpark Raider team can be and how great they played in the first half. And sometimes we see what happens is teams are so great and so well at executing their assignments in the first half, Ryan, that when the second half comes, they can't seem to match it. But I'm very positive and very confident this Moorpark team can match it and even better themselves in their play than how they played in the first half. So what they got to do here is they got to just play within their means here. Everyone's got their assignment. Everyone needs to execute and do what the Moorpark Raiders do best, and that is make plays.
Yes, the Raiders, they got to just shake off that bad start to the second half and just come at it strong just like they did before. It's going to be recovered at their own 12-yard line. Raymond Thomas, number 25, the speedy return man, breaking tackles after tackles, and is going to be brought down at about the 37-yard line.
A nice return there by Thomas, taking it all the way back to the 36-yard line, 37-yard line. And one thing that this Moorpark defense, or Moorpark specialties, never lacks is kick returns, Ryan. I mean, almost every time that these guys get the ball, whether it's Vinny or it's Davis, or right there it was Raymond Thomas. I mean, no matter who has the ball in their hands, Ed Dinbada went to, in times prior we've seen, no matter who has the ball in their hand, they always seem to take at least a couple-yard gain and turn into a 20, 30-yard gain. So one thing that they're very good at is making great return and good field position for their offense to start with in this special teams.
First down and 10 coming up from the 37-yard line. Their own 37-yard line. A pass is completed to the far sideline. Looks like Lorenzo Berardi, number 19, his first reception of the night. There is a penalty flag thrown down, and it looks like he was able to get to the line of, to the first down marker, but there is a penalty flag thrown, almost two, I believe.
And that was actually Curtis Couillard right there, yeah. That was a nice job by Curtis Couillard right there, moving his feet and able to get near first down. It does look like this might be not, never mind, pardon me, that is going to be tacked on to the gain right there, penalty against the defense right there on Santa Monica. So not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yards, but they're going to get a first down with that penalty. So already coming out strong in this Moorpark offense, and they're looking to put up some points.
Yes, just with about 13 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Santa Monica has a 23-21 lead, but Moorpark has the ball with the first down and 10 at the 39-yard line, already in Corsair territory. It's going to be a handoff straight through the middle. Mark Martin pushing defenders off of him for the first down and the 11-yard gain.
Mark Martin, one of his specialty or signature moves, if you want to call it that, is the stiff arm. I mean, of course, he likes to see him lower his shoulder and chuck people, but he is very good at executing the stiff arm and using it at the right time, which always springs him loose for another couple yards.
Yes, he just used that stiff arm to perfection. He's been doing that all season long. A fake handoff. Pass is incomplete, intended for Vinny Corso, number 20. So it's going to bring up a second down with just under 12:40 left in the third quarter.
And Tanner's got to make sure he gets those balls down a little bit right there. If you leave them up too high right there, that can be an interception, or luckily right there we saw an incompletion, especially when you have some of these shorter receivers like Vinny Corso, who's can cause just as much damage as a 6'5" receiver, but the main difference is obviously the height, and you cannot leave those balls up too high when you have smaller receivers. You need to make sure you can hit them in the numbers or make sure that nobody can catch it at all, and that's what Tanner actually did right there.
So now coming up here is a second down and 10, ball from the 28-yard line. Darling has nowhere to go, is rolling out to the near sideline and just throws it out of bounds right over the head of Ryan Matlock. So it's not intentional grounding because it makes it look like Ryan Matlock could have caught the football, but it's going to soar over his head for a third down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, not only that, too, Ryan looked like he was almost out of the pocket, too, so there should have been no call for that right there. So nice heads-up play by Tanner Darling. Sometimes people get frustrated with the quarterback and ask themselves, like, why is he throwing it out of bounds? You know, there's a play that can be made, but sometimes that's the smartest thing you can do to avoid a sack.
Third down and 10. Darling just trying to get out of the sack, but he's going to be brought down in the backfield.
And that was
yes, Chimechi Operanozi was able to come up with that big-time sack.
Yeah, Chimechi Operanozi right there making a great play. And you saw he's got some wheels too. I mean, even though he is playing linebacker, I mean, a lot of linebackers are very quick, and that's why he was able to track down Tanner Darling, who's so shifty and so fast when he gets some room in the pocket, or out of the pocket, I should say. So great play right there by Santa Monica's defense coming up time and time again. And they haven't actually been coming up too much in the first half here, but they are starting to show up a lot in this second half. And with only 3 minutes off the clock, they're already making a statement that they're not going out without a fight.
Fourth down and 22, and I mean, it should be against the defense. I did not see Moorpark moving on that play before. At least number 4 already made his way. I mean, number 3 already made his way. That's the Akiba Wallace. Before he made his way all the way next to the punter. That was the time that I saw a Raider move. So it should be against the defense, but I guess it's actually going to be against the offense.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of questionable calls tonight, but one thing you can never do as a player, you can't make excuses, of course. You got to play with the short-term memory, but most of all, you cannot leave the game up to the referees. My coach last year when I played at Royal, they used to talk about no matter what happens, you cannot leave the game up to the referees, because at that point the game is out of your reach and it's out of your hands. You want to make sure that everything that you do in the game is within your hands and that you can control the game. You don't let any outside sources like penalties from officials cause a win or a loss.
4th down and 27. A Moorpark bunt is booming, and wow, a great position right there. It takes a Moorpark bounce all the way down to the 1-yard line.
That was a great job right there with that Moorpark specialties. A nice, well-executed play right there. And you saw how quick these gunners on the outside for the punting team were able to get down there and stop the ball right before it gets to the end zone, causing a 1st and 10 on the 1-yard line. So this Moorpark defense is smelling safety right now.
Yes, the Corsairs have to travel 99 yards to score, so this is going to be the longest trek of the season. Just above 11:10 left in the 3rd quarter. The Corsairs are up 23-21. And they have the football on the 1st down and 10, ball on their own 1-yard line. I mean, as you were mentioning, the Raiders are definitely sniffing for a safety. But, hey, why not take a fumble recovery for a touchdown? Why take the 2 points when you can take the 6?
Great job there by Schmerbeck coming up with that grab, able to execute on that fumble. You see how quick he was able to get in there and grab before Paul Davis was able to regain the ball right there. Great job by that defense who's been coming up so much and so crucial in these big games and these big-time plays. So Moorpark regaining the lead there because of their defense. Now up by 4 points, potentially 5 after this made PAT by Riley Garrett.
Ryan Schmerbeck, the big-time name, makes the big-time play right there. I mean, that was incredible. We were talking about a safety, but, hey, throw away those 2 points. We'll take the 6 instead. Riley Garrett with the PAT attempt. It is straight through the uprights. It is good. The Moorpark Raiders now have a 5-point lead against the Corsairs, 28-23. While we have another break in action right now, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors. We can't do without you, so thank you very much for sponsoring the Moorpark Raider football team and the Raider live stream. U.S. Army. Go on business trips with a company like no other. U.S. Army. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. Wells Fargo. UCLA Health. It begins with you. UCLA Health. And Moorpark Center for Dentistry. We care about our community as much as you do at Moorpark Center for Dentistry. Thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream and Raider football team. Now we're back with your action here at Griffith Stadium, home of the Moorpark Raiders. The Raiders making an electrifying play on the defensive side. First, pinning the Corsairs on the 1-yard line. Then causing that disruption to the Corsairs offense where they fumble the football on the snap and able to come up with that big-time fumble recovery. I mean, just big play after big play from the Raiders. Once you take the Raiders down, or you think you take the Raiders down, the Raiders come right back, and they just showed it right there tonight.
I know. I mean, they get you when you least expect to hunt. Right there, you saw them. Their heads never come down either, though. They always play like they're up by 20. And right there, even though they lost the lead for the first time of the night, they come right back and they punch them in the mouth, and they're able to recover a fumbled touchdown in the end zone for a touchdown. A fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. So great job right there.
As in here comes the big-time kick return man, able to take it all the way down to around the 45-yard line. Once again, that was number 23, Trevor Nafoa.
Trevor Nafoa, one of these names that we've been hearing a lot of tonight. I mean, this kid is very quick, too, for the Santa Monica team right there. And we've seen him time and time again when they give him the chance or the opportunity to get the ball. I mean, he always makes this Moorpark and any opponent that they've played against pay. I mean, taking this ball all the way back to the 44-yard line. So one thing that I've seen a lot of excitement, yet a lot of blown responsibilities is on this kickoff/kickoff return teams for both sides. We've seen a lot of success in the kickoff return game on both teams, and now a lot of success in the kickoff game.
Yes, now here coming up is going to be an incomplete pass on a 1st down and 10 from Davis.
Davis right there, just trying to put it in there to Boykin, but he let him a little bit too much and maybe put a little bit too much heat on it. But then again, when you are at this level of football, on the collegiate level, the junior collegiate level, you do expect your receivers, especially your starting receivers, to be making these plays. So Boykin really has got to work on those hands a little bit there and hopefully snagging that next one.
Put a little too much mustard on that dog, but now coming up with a 2nd down and 10 here for the Corsairs. Ball at the 44-yard line, their own 44-yard line. About 10:55, just under 11 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Davis is almost brought down with a sack, but that ball, it looked like it went inside the chest of Hirota, bounced around a little bit, went through both of his mitts, and then fell on the ground because that ball was basically with Hirota for a good second or two until it finally hit the ground with an incomplete pass.
And great job by Cameron Townsend causing pressure on Davis there, for causing Davis to have to throw a ball a little bit quicker than he'd like, and causing Hirota not have enough time to really focus in on that ball and make a catch. So all that play right there and all the success that came from that play is all given to Townsend on that one.
Yes, Cameron Townsend, number 51, sending the heat on that play. There is going to be a penalty flag. Don't be surprised if it's going to be a false start against the offense. We have seen many and many false start penalties against the Corsairs tonight. I mean, they just cannot stay still on this whole entire game. They can't stay still. They can't stay still on the line. Maybe they're feeling this cold weather. I mean, in Santa Monica, it's usually pretty beautiful outside, but maybe they're feeling the cold weather of Moorpark right now. Moorpark's nowhere close to a Minnesota-type weather or anything like that, but at least down here, cold is around 50 degrees, and it seems like it's around there tonight.
Definitely. I mean, Moorpark not known for the cold, but the cold can have an aspect definitely in football games. And you know, you're a little bit more tired, you're a little bit more sore, and we've seen that the cold can have a huge impact.
On a 3rd down and 15, Davis throws it to the feet of his receiver once again. So it's going to be incomplete pass. A 4th down and 15 coming up here for Santa Monica City College, and it seems like they were just not able to get anything on the offensive side. The Moorpark defense stepped up big time, and they showed the thunderous power of the Raiders. And Vinny Corso now back, number 20, to receive this punt.
And a great job there by the Moorpark defense. We saw a couple of different plays right there. We did see a near sack by Cameron Townsend, and they go again with another fake.
They're going
here.
for it. And they stop him once again. Wow. The last time they stopped him was because he slid too early, but maybe he should have slid earlier because Hayden Galvin just put him in the cycle. I mean, he just hit him tremendously hard. He just went down with a big-time hit.
Hayden Galvin right there made him pay for trying to that fake punt right there. You saw him slide in there, made a perfect tackle, got his head and his shoulder across, and flipped him upside down right there, Ryan. So nice job by Hayden Galvin right there.
And once again, another big-time great hit by the Raiders, but a legal hit, that is, not an illegal hit. It was a legal hit, but a big-time hit that sends a message. That's what the Raiders like to do. They make legal hits that send a message and show what a Raider is all about.
And those plays are so crucial in a game that's so close. I mean, the Moorpark Raiders are only up by 5 points, and plays like that are what keep drives alive and potentially get Santa Monica a touchdown and give them the lead back. So Hayden Galvin's potentially saving a touchdown. Not a touchdown-saving tackle, but definitely a first down saving tackle, ends the drive here, gives the ball back to the Moorpark offense, and allows them to do what they do best, and that's put points up on the board.
Yes, and now coming up here with a 2nd down, a 2nd down and 7. Darling makes a check down pass out to the flat, but it's going to be caught for a 1-yard loss on the play.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that was only a 1-yard loss right there, and it looks like it's going to be a 3rd down here in about 8 or 9. And with that being said here, do look for the Moorpark Raiders to pass the ball a little bit more here. They do have Mark Martin in the backfield here, who's very good at these long 3rd down conversions, but I do expect a little bit more of a passing type play right here, Ryan.
Yes, you do expect that, especially on a 3rd and long. Now a 3rd down and 8, Darling dropping back to pass. Looking on the far sideline, pass is completed for a 1st down for the Moorpark Raiders. Edian Bada, number 6, was the running back in the game on that drive, but Curtis Couliard, number 33, coming up with a reception.
And right there, Curtis Couliard making another drive-saving catch right there, keeping the drive going right there and allowing another 1st down here for this Moorpark offense. So Curtis Couliard right there, he's been coming in a lot more as the season progressed. Wasn't used too much earlier, but now he has been. So I think they're very glad to have him.
Fake handoff pass to Nico Lima, number 8, getting another reception. This is his biggest game of the season. coming up with a touchdown, and also he is just performing well on all areas in this offense. He has been able to get reception after reception, so it's great to see him just succeed out here.
Definitely. Nico Lima, the D1 bounce back, and on his way back to bounce back into another D1 school with the performance that he puts on tonight.
Yes, if any schools are watching him, he is definitely a highlight player. Mark Martin gets the handoff. Number 5, able to move forward. Wow, a big-time run right there, bringing them down at the 12-yard line.
Nice job there by Mark Martin. Good job with the ball security, too. You saw him get spun around a little bit, but he was able to hold on to that football and not let it get away from him. So Mark Martin stepping up yet again for another first down for this Moorpark offense.
Yes, so now it's going to be a first down and 10. Ball at the 12-yard line. Just about 8 minutes left in the third quarter. A 5-point lead for the Raiders, but there's a fumble down to the ground. Darling, it looks like he was able to dive back on it for just a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, and Tanner Darling's got to make sure he's able to get those handoffs, or pardon me, those snaps clean, because without it, of course, that's going to be a big problem here for the Moorpark offense right there. But Tanner Darling able to get the ball back and make sure that this drive stays alive here. So good job. Nice heads-up play by jumping on that ball before it could get into the hands of the Santa Monica defense.
Now throwing it to the back corner of the end zone. It looks like Curtis Couliard does have the touchdown reception. Number 33, Curtis Couliard, coming up with the big-time reception here for the Moorpark Raiders. His first receiving touchdown of the game, and Tanner Darling's 4th passing touchdown.
Tanner Darling's been going off tonight. 4 different receivers hitting them with touchdowns. And Curtis Couliard, first touchdown of the night. This kid is definitely showing up for this Moorpark team right here. Making a nice grab right there. You saw with the defender right in his face, able to focus on that ball, bring it in, get his feet down, and execute for 6 points. So nice play right there.
And now coming up is the PAT attempt, and Riley Garrett. I mean, that is easy money for him. Coming up with that conversion. Now the Moorpark Raiders have a 35-23 lead over the Corsairs, their biggest lead of the season, a 12-point lead. Now, as we have another break in action, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors. We can't do without you, so thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream. The lender you can call home, PennyMac. Let us tackle all your mortgage needs, PennyMac. DCH Auto Group, delivering customer happiness. DCH Auto Group. Nationwide is on your side, Nationwide. Jersey Mike's Subs. Since 1956, a sub above. Jersey Mike's Subs. And Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center, well within reach. Los Robles Hospital and Medical Center. Thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream and the Moorpark Raider football team. Now we're back with the action, just about 7:20 left with a pooch kick here. It's going to take a bounce, and it seems like they touched it, and it looks like the Raiders had the football. Wow, those pooch kicks are working great out here.
Great job there by number 83 on that Moorpark special team, Kyle Peterson. He actually came in on the end of that last drive there, too. We haven't seen him too much tonight, but, I mean, this kid is also an asset to the Moorpark Raiders. And like we talked about earlier, Ryan, this team has been playing more complete than it's played the entire year. And it makes sense, of course, as the end of the year comes, you get more chemistry going, you get a little bit better with it. But this Moorpark team has been playing outstanding tonight on all 3 aspects of the game, especially specialties, which is overlooked but so important.
KP83, Kyle Peterson coming up with that big-time play. Great job out there. Now a first down and 10 coming up, and Tanner Darling's going to be brought down with the sack and a little bit of extra moves we see after the sack. It should have been some unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Akiba Wallace, but it's not going to be a penalty, and it's just going to set up a long second down, a second down and 19 for the Moorpark Raiders.
Yeah, nice job by Wallace there getting to Tanner Darling, but Tanner, good job being aware of his surroundings there and able to tuck that ball away before he let it out and potentially took a fumbling sack. So Tanner doing the best job that he could do there with the heads-up play.
Now on that second down and 19, almost an interception on the play, some extra antics, but there is a injured Corsair down the field. Actually, he might have just been had the wind knocked out of him because he got right back up as quick as I've ever seen any player get back up. But a 3rd down and 19 coming up off of the incomplete pass.
That was a little bit of a late hit on the Moorpark there, but no penalties called, which, of course, you're obviously not going to argue with, especially with all the calls that have been going Santa Monica's way. Of course, you don't want to see Moorpark get a penalty, but the offensive line does have to play a little bit more careful. I know they're a little bit angry, and they're trying to play aggressive and make plays, but they do need to play smart. Once they hear that whistle blow, they got to stop.
Tanner Darling throwing to Anthony McLean on the screen pass, but you got to knock down your target on that one. That could have been a big-time play, but unfortunately, the Raiders weren't able to be successful. But it seems like Diakiba Wallace, he is a little shaken up. Number 3, he's running off of the field for the Corsairs, and I'm not sure what's wrong with it. It almost looks like a back problem because he's trying to just move his body around, but unfortunately, he is injured and is going to be off the field right now with about 6:30 left in the 3rd quarter. With this 4th down and 19, obvious punting situation for the Raiders. And there goes the punt. It's a high, sky, booming punt. And it's going to take a Raider bounce. Able to get them pinned within the 10-yard line. They're going to be spotted at their own 8 for Santa Monica City College.
Nice punt right there. Once again, putting this Moorpark defense in a comfortable field position right here, only having to worry about 92 yards to defend here, not like we've seen them prior in the past here where they've been stuck up against their own 20, 10-yard line, you know. But when they have this much field position behind them, it seems that the Moorpark defense, of course, they always play good under pressure, but when there's not as much pressure on them, it seems that they play, of course, even better. And when you're giving the Moorpark Raiders 92 yards to defend here, the Moorpark Raiders almost always stop any points we put up on the board, and usually are good at having 3 and outs as well.
Yes, they are now on a 1st down and 10 with 6:20 left in the 3rd quarter. It's going to be a handoff, but brought down for about a loss of, it's going to be a loss of 2. They're actually spotting him at the 9-yard line, so he was brought down at the 7.
Yeah, and a nice play right by the entire defense right there, especially the defensive line led by Drew Mathis and some of these other players right here. Daniel Henderson and Watkins, a couple of these guys that were just in on that tackle. That was a group tackle, so it's hard to say one name there, but great job, great overall job by the entire defense right there, swarming there and causing a loss of yards right there.
Yeah, so now a 2nd down and 12 coming up. Davis draws back to pass and throws the slant roll, but J.J. Durden takes it all the way for a pick 6 and another Moorpark Raider touchdown.
J.J. Durden right there on that play. Made that an incredible interception right there for a pick 6. That's the kind of ball we like to see here on the Moorpark Raiders. And just adding to that scoreboard, 41-23 Moorpark, their largest lead by any team of the entire season. And they just keep tacking on these points, and they continuously play with fire and aggression, and that's why they're up so heavily in this game.
Yes, and J.J. Durden, the star defensive back for the Moorpark Raiders. He is one of the lead guys. He also is a sophomore coming up with that big-time play. A little bit of trickery there. It looks like that was a planned trick play, but it did not work for the Moorpark Raiders, unfortunately, on the PAT attempt.
Yeah, and you see here, because it is the last game, Moorpark is trying to pull all the hat tricks out of the book here, trying to go for a fake PAT right there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to come away with it, but they did come away with something that was much more important, and that is a pick 6, which we haven't seen at all yet from this Moorpark defense. But why not get one on the last game of the season?
Yes, and that was J.J. Durden on the pick 6 right there. So great job by him.
And the reason you can tell it's J.J. Durden is because of those red gloves that he always wears. And right there, it was easy to tell. Sometimes he might get confused with Tobias James, but that was definitely J.J. Durden right there.
Yeah, so coming up with that one, now the Moorpark Raiders have 41 points up on the board. This is just incredible. The first time this season that the Moorpark Raiders have been able to eclipse the 40-point mark. And there's still a whole nother quarter and a half to go. And wow, another fumble. KP83 is on the football. Kyle Peterson. But it looks like it will still be Corsair football. But wow, big-time plays.
Kyle Peterson being the new special teams MVP of the night right here. Coming up with that fumble on that last kickoff, and almost coming up with another one again. It looks like Moorpark has found the weak spot here on this Santa Monica team here with number 30, Tyler Richadio, right there, fumbling the ball once and fumbling it again, and it looks like Moorpark's going to keep tacking Mr. Tyler Richadio until he can finally get a grip on those hands.
So now coming out here, it's a first down and 10. Ball is going to be placed at their own 33-yard line. It's going to be a handoff. Handoff straight at the middle, but being brought down for only a 2-yard gain. That's once again Christoph Hirota, number 5, the running back.
Hirota right there, only able to come away with a couple yards. And as we talked about in the first half in the halftime show, Ryan, we talked about how they needed to kind of slow down the run game, or we briefly touched up on it. And right here, it looks like they have finally started to find a problem here for number 5 on the Santa Monica team here with Mr. Hirota.
And now a second down and 8 coming up. Davis looking for the near sideline. It's incomplete once again. J.J. Jordan was there on the coverage.
And it looks like Elijah Boykin wasn't fully aware of the route that he was running. It looked like he was trying to block for a quick second and break off into a post. And right there, Davis was trying to hit him right there in stride on a quick streak right there. And it looks like they were not on the same page, and that's why we saw an incompletion there, which is now going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yes, a 3rd down and 8 coming up here. 4:45 left in the third quarter, a 41-23, 18-point lead for the Moorpark Raiders right now. Giovanni, number 19, is the man in motion. Davis draws back to pass. The pressure is coming. Throws it deep down the field on the far sideline. Some miss. There's some confusion. It looked like he was trying to run a wheel route, but unable to feed it to him. So it's going to end up with a 4th down and 8.
And Davis, once again, it looks like they're not on the same page. He was running a wheel route right there. Davis threw it up to him like he was running a streak. So Davis not on the same page with his receivers. Of course, all defenses are going to love that because it only makes their job easier for a 3 and out. Like they've done it multiple times tonight. But if I'm on the Santa Monica sideline, I got to get my stuff together, and I really need to sit down with my receivers if I'm Davis, and I need to figure out the problem that's going on right now, because there's no way you can win a football game if you can't get your routes down.
Now here comes the punt. It's going to take a Corsair bounce, and it's just rolling all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's where the Moorpark Raiders will take over, and that's where they will take possession right now. And now while we have another break in action, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors. Once again, we cannot do without our sponsors, so thank you very much for sponsoring your Moorpark Raider live stream and your Moorpark college football team. Cricket, something to smile about. Cricket Wireless. Stonefire Grill, where community is served. Stonefire Grill. IBEW Local 47. Southern California's live powered for 125 years. IBEW Local 47. Ladin Auto Group. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Always close to home. Ladin Auto Group. And now we're back with the action. Once again, now we have a handoff on a 1st down and 10 for the Moorpark Raiders. Able to get right around the line of scrimmage. That was Raymond Thomas. Ray Thomas, number 25, on the carry.
Nice job there, Raymond Thomas. We saw him come up there about on that end around right there, and you see him with that nice elusive spin move, which helped him get an extra couple yards and pushed him within inches of that 1st down marker. So the spot, it looks like it is going to be a 1st down here. So nice job from number 25 there, Raymond Thomas, picking up that 1st down and just keeping this drive, starting this drive off with a nice start.
Yeah, now on a 1st down and 10, it's going to be a handoff, able to get about 3 yards on the carry. That's Raymond Thomas, number 25, once again on 2 back-to-back carries for a total of 13 yards in both of those 2 carries.
Yes, and Raymond Thomas and Anthony McLean, some of these unsung heroes on the running back core. I mean, these guys are just as deadly as Davis and, Mark Martin and, Eddie and Bada, but these guys are definitely – it's such a good problem to have, Ryan, because when you have this many – options in the running back position. Unfortunately, not all of them are going to play, but the fortunate part about it is if any of them go down or any of them meet a spill, you can always plug in a different running back, and you'll never have to worry about them being on the same pace because all 5 of these guys can get the job done.
Yes, you can never worry about that running back core for the Raiders, but now on that 2nd down and 7, it was an incomplete pass, so now bringing up a 3rd down and 7 with 3:16 left in the third quarter. 41-23, still 18-point lead for your Moorpark Raiders. Darling looking near sideline. Pass is completed. Looks like that was Boucher. Yes, that's William Boucher, number 23 on the reception.
William Boucher, we haven't seen too much of him tonight either, but it does look like he is starting to get the ball a little bit more and gain a little bit more playing time. Boucher is a freshman, so we should be looking to see him back next year. Another one of these studs on this receiving core, Ryan.
Yes, he is a stud on the receiver core. He's been a great receiver this whole season, but as you mentioned, not used too much in this game so far tonight. But now, with this first down and 10, the Raiders have the ball placed at their own 36-yard line. Darling looking deep down the field on the far sideline. Has a man open and is going to be a pass completion. Wow! My, oh my, sweet cherry pie. That was a great big-time pass completion there to Ryan Matlock.
Ryan Matlock in these last 2 games has made more clutch catches, I think, than almost any of these. I mean, of course, everyone on this team is very good at making these catches, but clutch catches, Ryan Matlock, I think, leads this team, and he's done it in these last 2 games alone. I mean, already having a touchdown on the day, now catching a huge bomb, and Tanner puts it and makes it look so easy as he just airs it out for a huge gain, putting the Moorpark Raiders inside the red zone and on the 10-yard line, knocking on a touchdown.
Yes, Ryan Matlock, a great big-time play. Now a first down and goal. Bradley Canepa gets the football, his first carry of the season, able to bring them within the 5-yard line, knocking on the door of the end zone right now.
And Bradley Canepa, it looks like Moorpark wants to give all of their hardworking, all of their hardworking players a chance to score right now. We saw Riley Garrett use a fake earlier, wasn't able to execute it, but now they're giving Bradley a chance to score. So it looks like this Moorpark team is starting to have fun with it here.
Yes, they are on a second down and goal at the 4-yard line. Canepa gets the football once again, and Bradley Canepa sneaks in there for the touchdown. Bradley Canepa, the big guy, the fullback, getting his first 2 rushes of the season and his first rushing touchdown for Moorpark.
That a boy, Bradley Canepa, giving him the ball right there and booming it right in there for a touchdown. Bradley Canepa, definitely another one of these unsung heroes on this offense. Comes in a pretty good amount of time here and makes a lot of these runs that you see Davis execute and you see Edgerton Bata and Mark Martin execute, and some of the runs we've seen tonight with McLean and Thomas as well. And he is the guy that's making it happen, because a lot of these times you don't notice him because he doesn't have the ball, but he is the one that might lay a linebacker out that springs our running backs loose. So Bradley Canepa, a stud, and definitely deserved that touchdown right there.
Yes, the Moorpark Raiders now up 48-23 with just about 1.5 minutes left in this third quarter of action. The scoring goes as this, and I write down every single touchdown down on a piece of paper just to make sure that I know about the touchdowns, and I have never seen 7 in a game here for Moorpark, at least this season. So Tanner Darling getting 3 straight passing touchdowns, then a fumble recovery by Schmerbeck, then another passing touchdown by once again Tanner Darling. Then you had J.J. Durden with the interception return for a touchdown. Then you got the big guy, Bradley Canepa, just sneaking in there for the end zone. I mean, this is just a great offensive outpour by the Moorpark Raiders, now up by 25 points.
It looks like they moved out the other guy that was having problems there, number 30, and they put someone else in, noticing that pooch kick.
Yes, and now Giovanni, number 19, was there on the return, able to bring it within Raider territory.
Vinny Corso making a nice play. This guy is not scared to hit, even though he is an offensive threat. He does come in on the specialties there, and he's made a couple tackles tonight on the specialties, so nice job. There was a big gain there, but that's the risk you take when you do have a pooch kick, Ryan. I mean, you are taking the risk of a fumble like we've seen happen and go in Moorpark's favor, or a short return. Or what you do see sometimes is if the blocks are all set up right on the kick return team, you are looking at least a 20-yard gain here and definitely already in Moorpark territory.
Yes, so now coming up here is a first down and 10. Ball placed at the 47-yard line. Dropping back to pass. They got a new quarterback in. And the ball just going to be deflected right there by Schmerbeck. But the new quarterback in, number 7, Nick Hutchins, the 6', 200-pound sophomore quarterback, most likely playing his last game for the Corsairs as well.
Definitely. Nick Hutchins, too, one of the backups here for the Santa Monica team here. Also part of the QB squad here, but Nick Hutchins actually having the best passer completion percentage of all three quarterbacks between Davis, Montinos, and, of course, Hutchins, completing 46.7%, which is better than Davis and Montinos. So he is the most accurate of the three, and it looks to be the most shifty as well.
Yes, able to juke around the defense for a first down right there by Hutchins.
Also, it should be noted here, he has the least amount of pass attempts, but he has the most touchdowns as well with 4 touchdowns. So he seems to be actually, on paper, the guy to go to. So it is surprising that Hutchins hasn't been playing at all tonight up until this point.
And now we got about 1:20 left in this third quarter of action. And we actually have an injured Raider down on the field. But while we do have another break in the action, we're going to thank a few more of our sponsors. Once again, we can't do without you, so thank you very much to all of our sponsors. The Hat, serving world-famous pastrami, burgers, dogs, chili for 67 years. The Hat. In-N-Out, freshness you can taste. In-N-Out. Harley's Semi Bowl presents College Cosmic Night every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to midnight. $8 with the college ID and $12 without a college ID. Our Harley's Semi Bowl. Also check out Harley's Camarillo Valley Bowl. Powerade. Fuel to power through. Powerade. 9 Design. Print and interactive media. 9 Design. And Corner Bakery. Proud to support all Scholar athletes at Moorpark College. Corner Bakery. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors, as we do have a quarterback keeper right here to Hutchins. Nick Hutchins able to take the football and able to get about a 7-yard gain on the carry.
Nice hit there by J.J. Durnan, stopping Hutchins from getting that first down. Another great open field tackle there by the veteran cornerback right there in J.J. Durnan.
And now coming up here is a 2nd down and 4 with 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Moorpark still with a 25-point lead. They have a bigger lead than the amount of points that the Corsairs have. I mean, this is just an amazing game by the Raiders.
It's a great way to finish the season with all the struggles and triumphs that Moorpark has been battling with this year. It's definitely good to see this team finish out stronger than they finished all year. And I think past alumni would be very proud of the way that this Moorpark team has been playing as well, right?
Yes, they would be, as Hirota is able to have a first down carry. Ball is going to be placed at the 26-yard line, coming up here with a first down and 10. The clock is running down with just 10 seconds left in the third quarter of action, and it looks like all of the players are just going to march off of the field. With the Moorpark Raiders have a 48-23-point lead against the Santa Monica City College Corsairs. Now with 3 quarters down, out of the way, Moorpark with a huge lead. What do you got to say about Moorpark? What has been so impressive to you out of this game that the Raiders have been playing?
I mean, what can't you say about this team, Ryan? Everything has been impressive to me, but if you want specifics here, let's start with the specialties. Executing, a couple times we've seen some problems here on the returns, but when they execute with Riley Garrett's perfect pooch kicks, we've seen them execute on a couple of fumble recoveries, or a couple of fumbles, but did recover on one of those right there. We've also seen on the flip side, on the kickoff return team, we've seen Desmond Davis along with Raymond Thomas taking it back for a nice chunk of 20 to 30 yards. And they've just been outstanding on specialties. Now, with that being said, let's look at the defense, starting with J.J. Durnan's pick 6. I mean, he read it so perfectly, read the quarterback size, he was able to take it for 6. Also, with that being said, multiple 3-and-outs have been caused by this defense, and to flip it back over to the offense, Tanner Darling's playing the best game he's played in his whole life here. With how many touchdowns is it tonight, Ryan? 4 or 5 touchdowns?
Yes, he has 4 passing touchdowns.
4 passing touchdowns, and this run game, of course, has never let Moorpark down, and they've also done their own damage with a couple of touchdowns as well. So, ultimately, this is the best game that Moorpark's played all year, Ryan.
Yes, it is, and almost got a 5th passing touchdown to Ryan Matlock deep down the field before the Bradley Canepa rushing touchdown. He was able to hit Ryan Matlock within the 10-yard line, so almost got another touchdown right there. But, I mean, Tanner Darling, 4 passing touchdowns. You can't ask for more.
Looks like there's going to be a timeout for a second, maybe to readjust some sort of play. Sometimes we'll see timeouts, even though they've already had a lot of time in between the shift of a quarter. Coaches sometimes aren't confident in the play call that they've made, so it looks like they're going to try to adjust that, especially with Santa Monica realizing that they have very little time to make an effort to catch the W if they want it. So Moorpark doing everything that they should do and everything that they can do to execute and take the W home tonight. They just got to keep it up for another 15 minutes, and they'll be successful in doing that and finishing out the season on a 2-game win streak.
Yes, finishing out the season with a 2-game win streak, that would be amazing. But as you mentioned, I do believe that there is a timeout called as well, because I don't know why there would be an official timeout. The scoreboard looks to be all okay. 15 minutes is set for this fourth quarter of action. We are here in the fourth quarter coming up between the Moorpark Raiders and Santa Monica City College Corsairs here. Still a 48-23 lead for Moorpark, so no problems there with the scoreboard as of yet. It marks for the fourth quarter as well, but once again, it does look like it is just going to be a timeout called. But this is Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator, joined alongside Nick Federico, color commentator analyst, for your coverage here on the Moorpark Raider live stream. There is a little bit of confusion down on the field, but I mean, I can't speak enough of this great play that the Raiders have been playing. One of the biggest, I think the biggest play, I mean, it was the last play that they had, the last touchdown that they had. I think that was probably the biggest one of the year, because you got a guy, Bradley Canepa. He is just an amazing player. He always paves the way for guys like Mark Martin, Desmond Davis. You got all these guys, Anthony McLean. You also have Raymond Thomas in there, paving the way for all of these guys. And then finally, he gets rewarded on the last game of this season. So it's just great to see him. And it's just amazing to see a guy like that get a touchdown that's been working so hard.
Definitely. I mean, all these players deserve it, but some of these guys just never do get to see the ball, especially like Bradley Canepa. And when they do, the coaches make sure that they put him in a position to succeed. So right there, you saw them give him the ball, not once but twice, because they wanted to make sure that Bradley got that touchdown. I mean, in the fullback position, I actually used to play that my freshman year, Ryan. The fullback position, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of memorization, and it's not very fun at times. I mean, of course it's fun, but it's not very fulfilling at times, because you're not ever getting the ball. And if you do, it's for short gains, and you hardly are ever scoring, if at all. So it's great to see them finally give Bradley Canepa the ball.
And now as we have that first down and 10, it's going to be handoff to Giovanni, and Giovanni is able to get a pretty nice gain on the play.
And that was a nice play right there with that looked to be a double option right there, or passing it back there to Giovanni, who seems to have the wheels on this team along with Hirota. So Santa Monica knocking on the door again. Here we are right here on the 13-yard line, or 12-yard line, pardon me. And they are inside the red zone, but Moorpark's defense has been pretty good about not giving up points in the red zone.
Yes, they have been pretty stout on the defensive side of the football tonight. But now coming up here is a first down and 10. Ball at the 13-yard line. It looks like to be a quarterback keeper straight up the middle. Hutchins able to get down to about the 6-yard line, so deep inside the red zone.
And Hutchins a lot more like Tanner Darling, not so much like Davis, their original starter before it seems like he's been benched now. But Davis a lot more of a pocket passer here and doesn't like too much pressure. But Hutchins, on the other hand, likes a lot of contact and looks to be a lot more of a mobile quarterback than Davis.
Yes, he does seem to be a lot more of mobile quarterback. He's running all over the defense right now, but it's going to be a handoff straight at the middle. Moorpark defense is fighting out here still as Hirota is trying to get inside the end zone.
And nice job there by Moorpark's defense, creating a brick wall of gains right there, not letting Hirota get in right there. So it's going to be a 3rd and 1, which this is one of the biggest problems, or I guess one of the biggest issues with being on inside your own 5-yard line, especially when the first down marker is inside the 5-yard line. Is all Santa Monica has to do is get a yard, and then they're going to get a full set of downs to start over, to reset, only having to go 3 yards. So it's not only a matter of stopping a touchdown, but stopping the first down.
But Hutchins, he does not want a first down. He wants the pay dirt. He runs in there for the touchdown. Corsairs. The Corsairs will now have 29 points, trying to eclipse the 30-point mark as Hutchins is able to get the rushing touchdown.
And a little bit of jarring right there, but I mean, what else do you expect when this game's been almost blown so much out of proportion? And we're not very used to seeing this, right? I mean, Moorpark is a very good team in itself, but we're not used to seeing them put up these kind of points and not allowing other teams to score nearly as much as them. So the defense did give up a touchdown, but overall they still have been playing very well tonight. I mean, 7 of those points, more than 48, are from the defense. So, I mean, this defense has been playing exceptionally well. Of course, they gave up a touchdown right there, but there's no worry, especially with 13 minutes left in the game here, up by 18 points here, so it's a 3-possession game. Moorpark is sitting pretty right now.
Yes, they are, and with the extra point PAT attempt, it is good. So the Moorpark Raiders still have an 18-point lead, 48-30. But after this game, attention all Raider fans, come down to Custom Pie Pizza for a special Raider happy hour. It's going to be directly following this game against Santa Monica City College. This is the last game of the season, the last home game of the season, but last overall game. And the Moorpark Raiders will be having their last Custom Pie Pizza Raider happy hour. So make sure that you come. Once again, this is the 4th annual Salute to America's Heroes game with the Veterans Day weekend. So on this game, make sure you come by to Custom Pie Pizza. Specials on appetizers. They'll have specials on beer and wine, cheese and margarita pizza. So it's going to be a great time. You can meet some of the coaching staff, meet some of the athletes, even meet some of us broadcasters as you head down to Custom Pie Pizza after the game. The best wood-baked pizzas in Ventura County. Custom Pie Pizza. Now here comes the kickoff. Raymond Thomas, a very smart move. He doesn't try to return it. He just lets it fall in the end zone for a touchback. So the Moorpark Raiders will be having some fairly decent field position to start off this drive.
Yes, they will be taking the ball right here from about the 25-yard line, or 20-yard line, pardon me. 25-yard line, sorry about that. And it looks like the Moorpark Raiders are coming out. It doesn't look like it's true. They're coming out with a lot more fire here. We got William Boucher back in the game here with Vinny Corso. So we got a couple of vets right now lining up right now in this Moorpark offense here. So look for Moorpark to be putting up even more points. Curtis Couillard on the bottom of the field right here. Already had a touchdown earlier tonight, so look for him as well.
Getting the handoff, has some room in front of him. It looks like this Anthony McLean able to get a first down. Number 28, Anthony McLean with the big-time run.
And Anthony McLean being a very north and south runner instead of east and west. We see him right there. He's not looking too much to Duke or anything like that. He's looking more to just cut straight up ahead. He's more of a one-cut back. I like that in McLean right there. He makes one cut, and he takes it up for a nice gain right there. We saw him pick up about 12 yards right there. So Anthony McLean, great run right there. Great north and south run right there, I should say.
Yes, that was a great run right there. Anthony McLean showing what a sophomore can do out here for the Moorpark Raiders. Just about 12:45 left in the game. Darling rolling out to the far sideline, passing it deep down the field. And it's going to be just incomplete outside of the hands of the intended receiver. I believe that was Eddie Mbata, the intended receiver.
And we don't see Eddie Mbata run too many routes anymore. I mean, yes, he was labeled and he is labeled as a tight end, but he is definitely taking on that running back position a lot more than a tight end. But right there, it does look like Moorpark was trying to give him the ball right here. I mean, like we talked about, this is not only the last game, but now we're in the final quarter here. And with Moorpark up by so many points, of course, these guys, this Moorpark coaching staff here is just trying to give everybody the ball in all different types of ways. So I like that play called the Eddie Mbata right there.
Yes, I do like that big deep pass play. It's going to be Anthony McLean on his second down and 10, and he's going to get the first down at the 50-yard line. Great job right there, Anthony McLean getting the first down for the Moorpark Raiders.
Anthony McLean right there taking a nice 13 yards again. So it looks like this kid's really trying to eat right now. I mean, they gave him the ball twice now, and both times here he's been picking up first downs. So they're not taking him out of the game either, respectively. I mean, when you're doing that kind of damage, you don't want to take your running back out, especially when they're starting to get hot. So right now he's heating up right now, and he's ready to take it all the way to the house.
First down 10, ball at the 50. They're not going to give it to him, but it's going to be a pass that's incomplete to Vinny Corso.
Yeah, Tanner Darling overthrowing Vinny Corso just a little bit there. We did see him have a little bit of pressure in his face there. Coming off the edge for Santa Monica right there was Wallace coming off the edge right there. Big boy too, 6'3", and he almost was able to knock that away, but good job by Tanner Darling, able to throw it in between his hands and not let him deflect the ball. I mean, I guess actually it wouldn't make a difference there. It was both of those would have been an incomplete pass, but it was good that he didn't allow Wallace to get a chance to intercept that ball.
And now coming up on a second down, that should be, yes, a second down and 10 off of that first incomplete pass. It's actually going to be caught. Wow, a big-time catch right there. Vinny Corso able to get the first down.
Nice job by Vinny Corso. You saw that because this isn't the NFL, you do only need 1 foot in bounds. You will see players at times do that and with 2 feet, and that is kind of to prepare themselves for the next level. But great job there by Vinny Corso, making a nice one-footed one-footed catch right there, getting 1 foot down, dragging it across, and getting both his hands on the ball, and coming away with another first down.
First down and 10. Ball's going to be given to Raymond Thomas, and he is just pushed forward for that for that 6-yard gain.
And that was a nice job there from the help of his lineman right there, and number 78, Giovanni Rosa right there, just kind of shoving him down. With, you know, you got some of these big offensive linemen here that are just so much more powerful than almost anyone else on the field, and when they're able to shove the running back, that's definitely going to help you get a couple more yards. So I think Thomas appreciated that right there, Ryan.
Yes, he would definitely. And Frederick Wise was also there, the big guy, the center, number 75, the sophomore. There's going to be a pitch to Raymond Thomas, has him blocking in front of him, and he's going to be brought down just around the 25-yard line. So a first down for the Raiders with just under 11 minutes left in the game.
Camus Prentice Brown kind of wobbling off right now. It looks like he's got a little injury on his foot here, but seems to be he'll be all right. Maybe jump on that bike, warm his feet up a little bit right there. But that was another nice run by Thomas, able to pick up another Moorpark Raider first down.
Kyle Peterson, number 83. Vinny Corso, number 20, on the far sideline, and Ryan Matlock on the near sideline are your wide receivers in for the Moorpark Raiders. It's going to be a handoff straight at the middle, however. Curtis Collier, number 33, is now in for Vinny Corso, number 20.
And look for this connection from Darling to Curtis Collier right here. I mean, we've seen it a couple times tonight. One for a touchdown on a dime pass, put it on a dot, and Curtis Collier able to, with that laser focus, able to focus in on that ball and bring it in before the hand can swat it away from the defender. So look for Curtis Collier to do some sort of streak or out pass, and Tanner Darling to hit him at the top.
It seems like they're trying to go for their 50th point. Ryan Matlock is there for the touchdown reception. Touchdown Moorpark College. Ryan Matlock's second touchdown reception of the evening.
Ryan Matlock right there. You look like one of his linemen were trying to shove him up, but Ryan Matlock didn't want to have any of that right there. But Ryan Matlock got some wheels. I mean, this kid really has stepped up in these last couple games here. I mean, one of the more valuable players on this team, and the reason that we're able to say that is because if you watch the last couple games, and of course, if you think about it, in these last two games tonight, considering everything goes right with a huge lead, 10 minutes left, there's going to be another win. So with the two wins this week and last week, we've seen Matlock come in the clutch, and both of these games that they've given him the ball, Moorpark has won. So I don't know if that'll be something that they look forward to next year, because he is a freshman, so Ryan Matlock will be back next year. So maybe they will be able to give him the ball a little bit more, because it seems like whenever he has the ball in his hands, Moorpark wins games. So that is kind of a big statement to say. Of course, there's a lot of other aspects that go into winning, but he's definitely a huge part of that.
Yes, he is a huge part of winning. But now the Moorpark Raiders have a 55-30, a 25-point lead here for the Moorpark Raiders over the Santa Monica City College Corsairs. They are just lighting it up tonight. 5 passing touchdowns for Tanner Darling, 2 receiving touchdowns out here for Ryan Matlock. I mean, everybody is hot tonight.
Definitely. I mean, I can't think of one person right now on this team here that hasn't made some sort of play. And I seriously mean that. I mean, every single player on this team that's gotten on the field has made a play. And you know, as the time winds down a little bit more, look to see guys that haven't got on the field as much get in the game as well, because when you're up by this many, this is when you start to put your backups in. But I do understand. I do realize that this is, and I think we all realize this is the last game of the season, so a lot of these starters will continue to play because it is going to be their last game.
Yes, here comes the kickoff, and it's going to be fumbled. Trying to take it across the field, but he's going to be breaking the tackles, but wow, another big-time hit to take him down, but that's Ricky Richardson, number 26, with the return.
And he about to laid a hit right there on number 71 in that Santa Monica team right there. In somebody on that Santa Monica team right there, because unfortunately he does not pop up on the roster. There's a couple of people here that aren't on this roster here, but number 71 took a huge shot from Eddie Mbata. And you can see these boys are fired up here on this Moorpark team.
Yes, and it's funny because the hottest game that the Raiders have played, the best game that the Raiders have played this season, have been on the coldest night.
I like that. I like that, Ryan. It's pretty clever right there.
Maybe the Raiders should move to the East Coast if they're playing this well during these cold games. But, I mean, the Raiders, they're definitely showing up tonight with another big-time tackle on the handoff.
Definitely, and we see Alatorre jump back in the game along with Courtney Chandler here. And looks like we got some more stellar secondary boys coming in right now. Henderson's going to come off the field along with Richard Goldhammer right now. But it looks like they're going more to a pass prevent type of package here, taking out 2 linebackers and put in 2 more secondary. So it looks like they're going back to this 5-2 set right here. So looks like Moorpark's a little bit more worry of the pass game right now, especially when they're down by this many points here. It looks like they're going to – oh, never mind.
John Martinos is the quarterback in the game, but it's going to be a handoff to the far sideline. Tyree Fryer, I believe, was there on the carry, but that backup quarterback is now in, John Martinez.
Yeah, and Hirota has definitely been the bright spot of tonight in this Santa Monica team here. I mean, he's very, very quick, and every time that he gets the ball, he's able to take it for a huge gain there. So if I'm on the Santa Monica team, I would try to incorporate him somewhere, maybe even in the pass game a little bit here to try and put up some points, because with only 8 minutes and 46 seconds left in the game here, you really got to start putting points up on the board if you want a chance to at least tie this game up and bring it into overtime.
That was Ricky Richardson, number 26, on the last carry, and there's him again on this carry on that first down and 10. But he's going to be brought down for about a loss of 1, so it's going to set up a second down and 11.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, correction. Ricky Richardson, also another one of these stud running backs here for Santa Monica, but they do have a nice problem here, having both of these running backs who are both very quick, and they're very similar, too, in the way that they're running the style and how they play the game here. But if one thing's worked for Santa Monica tonight, it's been the run game. Not much else has worked as well as the run game has.
Yes, the run game has just been working tremendously out here for Santa Monica, but still, the Raiders' defense has just been stepping up big time. Richardson gets another handout, trying to make a spin move, but he's going to be brought down by a multitude of Raiders.
Everybody was eating on that play right there. We see a couple of new faces there. Number 39, Jordan McBride. We haven't seen him too much this year, but you saw him come right there and lay a hit to seal it off right there with that tackle. But like we talked about, these East and West runners, unless you're extremely quick, like with someone like Davis is a perfect example, but he doesn't even do it as much as some of these guys do it. You can't be doing this North and East and West stuff, especially when you're already behind the line of scrimmage. A lot of these guys try to make a play here, try and juke out the entire team, and then do a cutback and spin move and expect to be wide open, but that's not how it works, especially in this day and age in the game and at this level when everybody's so quick and so fast. You can't get away with all these jukes, especially behind the line. You got to make 1 or 2 moves and cut it back upfield. Or if you are going to juke a lot, make sure that you're at least past the line of scrimmage so that you're already gaining positive yardage. Right there, that running back costed his team an extra 3 or 4 yards, and that's why they're looking at a 3rd and 17.
Yes, 3rd down and 17, about 7:50 left in the game. Moorpark still with the 25-point lead. Drawing back to pass, looking for that screen pass play. Richardson with the reception, trying to find some room, but he's going to be brought down by a bunch of Raiders. There are a few penalty flags, I think, thrown on a few different cases.
Yeah, it looks like there's a hold right there on Henderson. It looks like there's a bunch of jawing going on here by number 73 on that Santa Monica team, who we do have on the roster here, Mr. Rashawn Hawkins. Talking a little bit of trash here. There's a little bit of fighting going on, and with only 7.5 minutes left in the game and the end of the season, with the end of the season just around the corner with 7.5 minutes to go here, a lot of these players are starting to take out a lot more anger on, the opposing team here. So definitely don't want to do anything stupid here that'll hurt you or potentially get you kicked out for next year or suspended or have your name brought up in any negative way, especially with scouts that could potentially be here. You don't want to do anything that shows that you're an immature player. So
it is going to be it's going to be a penalty against the offense, holding, then a face mask penalty against the defense. So those penalties will offset. So it should still be a 3rd down and 17. That's at least where it looks like. It's going to be a timeout by Santa Monica City College, but with just about 7:40 left in the game, Moorpark has a 55-30 point lead here. 55 points for the Moorpark Raiders. First time this season we've eclipsed 40. First time we've eclipsed 50. I mean, this team is just on fire right now. What do you think was the change tonight that we were able to score this many points? Because, of course, it could be the other team that we're playing. That could be the case, but it just seems like we're hitting on all cylinders tonight. No matter what's happening, it seems like Tanner Darling is just putting it on the money tonight.
Well, I think what's happening is, I mean, even though it's kind of a sad aspect of it, is that when there's not as much pressure on you, like we talked about, Moorpark unfortunately will not be able to go to a bowl game this year. There's a lot less stress. And with that being said, this is like we've talked about again, time and time again, this is the last time some of these guys will ever suit up in their life, and that's devastating in itself. So a lot of these guys are just playing, relaxed, not stressing out about little plays, giving up touchdowns, whatever, fumbles. And this Moorpark team is just playing with charisma and swagger and with no stress on their mind. And that's why you see them make all these spectacular plays they've made tonight.
And a throw deep down the field is going to be completed. And it looks like they're going to get the first down. And yes, they will. That was Martinos to number 23, Trevor Nafoa. We haven't heard his name too many times ever since the big-time returns in the first half. But Nafoa coming up big again.
And Hutchins right now making multiple plays for his team right there. Hayden Galvin coming off the edge, about to destroy Hutchins. You saw him break that tackle, and he was able to make a spin move that caused them to, or pardon me, they have yet another running back or another quarterback in the game now in Martinos. And so now we have seen all three quarterbacks join in the game here. I don't know if they're just trying to switch things up to maybe see who has the best opportunity in the QB position to give this Santa Monica team a chance to score here. But I thought Hutchins was actually doing pretty well, Ryan, and he did actually score a touchdown. So I think maybe, just like we're looking at our last night with the sophomore night, even though they are away, this is a lot of the last time some of these Santa Monica players will play as well. So maybe John Martinos, actually he's a freshman, but maybe they're just trying to give him a little bit more reps for next year.
Hayden Galvin coming in with a big-time play, but it's going to be an interception. Interesting to see what the call is going to be because there's a penalty flag down by where the quarterback was hit, but Braxton Rogers, number 21, coming up with a big-time interception.
And unfortunately, I think this pick's going to come back because there was not a very late hit, but definitely a late hit on Hayden Galvin right there. He laid it in on him, and Martinos is still feeling that right there, so it looks like this play is not only going to not be called as an interception, yes, but in fact, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for Santa Monica. So unfortunately, this defense is going to have to stay on the field here with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go.
That is one thing that's unfortunate because when you're a player coming in to tackle the quarterback, when you're a player coming in to sack the quarterback, you have to slow your body down and be able to just hit him and not tackle him to the ground. But sometimes, which we saw with Hayden Galvin, he flew off the ground, and by the time he hit him, he already had the football well out of his hands. So unfortunately for Galvin, he wasn't able to slow his body down because he was in midair. But still, a great play by Hayden Galvin to make sure that quarterback feels his presence. You know, you always want the other team to feel your presence. So great job by Galvin to be able to make that big-time hit.
Yeah, you know, especially with the last game, of course, Moorpark doesn't mind a 15-yard penalty when you're up by 25 with just under 6 to go. So Hayden Galvin, I mean, you know what? It happens to the best of us. You make a mental mistake. Who cares? Especially when a game like this, when, you know, you're up by so much. You're playing with all this energy and this excitement. You know what? If you got to take the penalty, you do what you got to do. But just try and learn from it on the next one there. But you can't blame the kid for playing with excitement.
Exactly. You can't blame Hayden Galvin coming out on sophomore night making big plays. There should be a penalty against the lineman. I mean, he pulled Hayden Galvin down by his face mask. I was surprised. I mean, they threw a penalty flag, but the referee had his back turned towards Hayden Galvin, so I'm hoping that they do call it against the lineman that pulled down Galvin, but, I mean, that was definitely an uncalled play.
I know, and we saw Hayden Galvin kind of shove that lineman back into the ground after that with a little bit of anger because I would be just as upset if I was Hayden Galvin as well. So, I mean, it is going to be holding right there, 10-yard penalty, and it's going to be a replay of second down here, and it's going to cause a second and long for the Santa Monica team. But this defense and this Moorpark defense is doing everything that they can to just continue to play their butts off, and right now they're playing great football. So can't blame them for any of these little penalties that come their way.
Yes, so now coming up here is going to be a second down and 19, ball from the 30-yard line. Yes, ball from the 30-yard line. There's just about 4:50 left in the game. It's going to be a handoff to their main man. That's their main running back, number 5, able to get a big-time gain is Hirota.
Hirota just keeps on pounding away here at the field and at these run. I mean, he's racked up a nice amount of yards tonight. He should be close to about 100 yards. I'm not positive, but he's definitely made a good impact here with the run game. So Hirota, like we talked about earlier, one of the bright spots here for the Santa Monica team.
So now a 3rd down and 10 coming up off of the 2nd down and 19. Martino, still the quarterback is in the shotgun formation. Draws back to pass, looking far sideline. Pass is completed, but there is going to be a little trickery. They are going to pitch it. They're going to do a reverse to the other receiver. It looks like there may be a penalty flag. It might be forward. Basically, yeah.
A forward, yeah, sorry, Ryan. A forward lateral, yeah, you can't do that. That's illegal there. So Moorpark caught a break, but that was, I mean, if that is what they call then Moorpark's going to catch a break, but that was a very nicely executed hook and ladder play right there.
Yes, that was. It seems like we're still awaiting a call right now, just above 4 minutes left, but it will be an illegal forward pass to an illegal forward lateral from the receiver. So, I mean, great trick play, but it's not going to work right now at least. So it should be a 4th down because, I mean, no, it should be a 3rd down and long since that penalty should be enforced.
Yeah, and it does look like, I think that's what they're talking about, maybe where the pass kind of occurred and if it was for sure lateral or not, because right now it is going to be, like you said, pardon me, they already did.
It looks like they're calling it a 4th down and 10 coming up. So on that forward lateral,
in 3 seconds.
on the forward lateral, they had, I guess since it was that play, they're going to call that as a down, so they're going to lose a down. So that's why it's 4th down and 10 coming up here. And then because of that penalty, it brings them back all the way to that original spot. So a 4th down and 10 coming up nonetheless. And, of course, being down by 25 points, you're going to go for it. Dropping back to pass, empty backfield, going to lob it up. Almost intercepted. That should be a pass interference against the offense, but they're not going to be calling it. It's just going to be an incomplete pass.
And they would have declined that anyway, so that was a great job there by that defense right there. Great job by number 21 on that Moorpark defense, coming up with a play right there in number 21, Braxton Rogers. One of the shorter guys on the field, listed only as 5'7", but this guy plays like he's 6'3". I mean, he's been locking down guys all year, and he's finishing off in his potential last game, or potential last game of the year, I should say, because he's coming back next year. He is only a freshman. He's finishing very well tonight.
Yes, now coming out here for a 1st down and 10. Just under 4 minutes left in the game. Moorpark still has a 25-point lead against the Corsairs. Vinny Corso, number 20, back out there. That freshman, star wide receiver for Moorpark. The clock is winding down, but the pass is going to be completed to Curtis Collier, number 33 on the far sideline.
Nice, another pickup of yards right there. You saw him just take out his legs because if Curtis were able to get open right there, you know that he'd be able to take that all the way back for a touchdown. So nice heads-up play by the corner right there in Santa Monica, taking out Curtis's legs before he could get him. Before he could get him moving.
Yes, 3:30 left in the game. It's going to be a handoff, but he trips up. That was Edian Bata, number 6 on the carry.
And Moorpark, as this clock starts to wind down, you'll start to see, especially after the game, maybe some more emotion here from some of these players. I mean, it's not uncommon to see some of these grown men cry because this is, it's a very sad aspect of life when you finally got to say goodbye to the game here. So with just 3 minutes left here, look for these players to be playing just a little bit extra hard.
Tanner Darling dropping back to pass. Has nowhere to go. He's just making some moves out here, running to the near sideline. He's just going to toss it forward to make sure that is not going to be an interception or a sack on the 3rd down and 6.
And that was a nice heads-up play. You saw him just throw it out of bounds right before he stepped out there. So he didn't have to worry about taking the loss right there. Instead, it's just going to be marked as an incomplete pass right there.
4th down and 6 coming up here for the Moorpark Raiders. Anthony McLean, number 28, and Mark Martin, number 5, both in here for the punt team. So don't be surprised if you see a fake. Raiders maybe trying to go for the 60 mark.
You never know, right?
They are just going to punt it. Raiders have great sportsmanship, so not trying to make anything extra happen as Kyle Peterson's able to down it right at about the 46.
Nice job, Kyle Peterson, flying down there. Definitely been stepping up tonight in the specialties. I mean, if we had to have an MVP for specialties, it'd be Kyle Peterson, I think, along with Riley Garrett, of course. But with that fumble recovery, almost got another fumble recovery on kickoff, and now running. You know, he's been a great gunner for this Moorpark team all year long, getting down there and making a lot of key tackles here that stop these quick and elusive punt returners from getting any yardage. So Kyle Peterson, a great asset to have on these specialties, and hopefully, maybe we'll see him a little bit more in the receiver position next year.
Something that I just saw right now, Mark Martin is in on the defensive side. He is in at the linebacker position, and wow, the offensive lineman just almost threw a punch towards Mark Martin. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous. Even if you're down by 25, no matter how much you're down by, at least have some good sportsmanship. Victor Castillo, I believe that's Victor Castillo, number 60 on the team. At least my apologies, number 68, James Ayes. James Ayes, the freshman offensive lineman. Looks like a freshman because, wow, that was very uncalled for. You are not going to throw punches like that, and especially to our guy, Mark Martin. Come on.
Definitely. And I mean, he was lucky he didn't get ejected, or there wasn't even a penalty on that play, I think, because it happened so quick. But, yeah, I mean, you can't really be doing that. But I do like to flip back to some brighter aspects in this game here. They're putting Mark Martin on linebacker. I guarantee that he probably talked to Coach before the game and asked him for something here. If he could get a couple snaps here at defense, because this is going to be his last game here as a Moorpark Raider.
Yes, and he is replacing Richard Goldhammer right now. But with that delay of game, basically what they deserved for that offensive lineman throwing that one at Mark Martin, the cheap shot. Now setting up a 2nd down and 11 for the Corsairs. Ball at the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line, with just about 1:30 left in the game. It's going to be a wide receiver screen pass to the near sideline, but wow, a big-time hit right there by the Raiders. That was Elliot Boykin there on the reception.
A nice hit there by number 39 on the Moorpark Raiders. Jordan McBride right there again, 6'2", 210 freshman coming in there and executing a nice hit right there.
Seems like Moorpark is really into it. Frederick Wise, number 75. For the Raiders at number 56, Spencer Reed. We're dancing along with the cheerleaders in the back. I mean, this is just a great atmosphere we're seeing out here on Moorpark College. But there we go. Ricky Richardson, number 26, gets that 1st down carry, but only 50 seconds left, down by 25. Moorpark's got it in the bag right now.
Definitely, and it's a great way to finish out the year right there with this kind of success here. This should be, if not the last play of the game, one of the last plays of the game. But overall, you know, Ryan, we've seen a lot of up and downs with this Moorpark team, but a great way to finish out this year and have some momentum going into next year. I mean, if you can build off of these last couple games that Moorpark's played in, I mean, even against Ventura, they did pretty good. So with that being said, I mean, if you can just build off of that, then it's only going to bring you more success next year.
Richardson able to get the reception on a 1st down and 10. It's going to be a 4-yard reception. 10 seconds left and counting. I think they're trying to run a play, but they're going to have to line up quickly. 5 seconds left and counting. They got an extra man on the field. He has to run on the field, but the time is going to expire because if they were actually able to get the snap off, that would have been 12 men on the field. So a penalty no matter way, but the Moorpark Raiders are going to take the victory 55-30 here at home in the last game of the season.
Great job tonight by the Moorpark Raiders in all 3 aspects of the game. Offense with multiple touchdowns from Tanner Darling, along with the run game packing on a couple extra. Defense, bending but not breaking. Yeah, they gave up 30 points, but they also did have a pick 6 by J.J. Durnan. And then, of course, special teams. One of the most overlooked aspects of this game with Riley Garrett, guys like Kyle Peterson recovering on these pooch kicks where the ball was bobbled and fumbled, and Kyle Peterson running down there and getting these fumble recoveries, Ryan. So ultimately, I'm very proud of this Moorpark team and how they were able to finish this season in the greatest game that we've seen this year, hands down.
Yes, I am very proud of the Moorpark Raiders, and make sure that you stay tuned with us as we'll have the Raider fifth quarter locker room report post-game show just after this, presented by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far, Wells Fargo. So make sure you stay tuned for the post-game show in just a few moments. But right here at Griffith Stadium, the Moorpark Raiders take this victory 55-30 against the Santa Monica City College Corsairs. We'll be back with the post-game show in just a few moments.
Last game, right?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moorpark Raider fifth quarter locker room post-game show presented by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far, Wells Fargo. Once again, my name is Ryan Ketchum, play-by-play commentator, joined alongside Nick Federico, color commentator analyst. And, I mean, this was a tremendous victory for the Raiders. Too bad that it did happen in the last game of the season. This is the third overall victory for the Raiders. They will finish the season 3-7. Maybe not the way that the Raiders season we would have liked it to go, but still, the Raiders finishing off with a 2-game winning streak. That's always the best way that you can finish a season. That's always the way that you want to finish it off. So, what do you got to say about this victory? 55-30. I mean, it was just tremendous. Tanner Darling, 5 passing touchdowns. Just a great offensive outpour tonight.
I mean, all three aspects of the game, especially we'll start with the offense. I mean, Tanner Darling, 5 touchdowns tonight. He previously had 9 all year, and he puts up 5 tonight, finishing with 14 on the year. That's incredible, okay? On top of that, though, I mean, we saw the run game, Mark Martin have great success, Desmond Davis, but what I really like to see was how the coaches implemented they implemented Thomas a lot more, and they implemented McLean a lot more in the game. So every single running back, there's 5 running backs that we have listed, actually 4, but Eddie and Batty, of course, we see him run the ball a lot. We have 5 running backs, and all of them got to touch the ball tonight. What else I like to see from this coaching staff was how it was sophomore night, and all the sophomores that deserve to play and get on the field were all able to play. But let's flip over to specialties. I mean, specialties tonight, Riley Garrett, of course, Mr. Reliable and Mr. Successful when it comes to PATs. Hardly ever missing any. He was perfect tonight. And with all the touchdowns that accumulated, I mean, he didn't miss 1 PAT, so that's something to be noted. But on top of that, let's talk about Kyle Peterson. I mean, this guy was like the specialties MVP. You know, he recovered a fumble, which was bobbled by Santa Monica on the kickoff return team, flew down there, and he almost got another one. On top of that, he made a couple of key tackles on the punt team, pardon me. So he's a stud. And then to go to the defensive side of the ball, a pick 6 by J.J. Durden. I mean, we haven't seen one of those all year. And he comes up, reads the QB perfectly, and takes it back to the house for 6. And the defense did give up 30 points, but if you saw the way they played tonight and you watched this game, they played like they gave up maybe 7, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great performance out here for the Raiders, just all over. You mentioned Kyle Peterson coming up big time on the special teams. I mean, he has been a great wide receiver out here for the Moorpark Raiders this season. Hasn't been used too much in the offensive scheme, but it's just amazing to see him. One of the highlight players. I know we mentioned him in the pregame show. Ryan Matlock, number 4. I said to watch out for him this game. He's going to have a big game. He is going to do well. 2 receiving touchdown of the game. 2 receiving touchdowns, just big time. One of them was an 84-yard touchdown reception. I mean, that was just incredible. But overall, the Moorpark Raiders just dominated this matchup against Santa Monica City College Corsairs. The Corsairs finished off the season with a 1-9 overall record, while the Moorpark Raiders finished off with a 3-7 overall record. But once again, a big-time victory, 55-30. Any last thoughts for you, Nick, on this season?
Well, Ryan, I first want to just thank you for bringing me on and part of this team, and you've been very great in mentoring me, and I really appreciate that. So we will be working together a lot next year. I do want to thank you for all the hard work that you've put into this, and everyone that's given me the opportunity. Vern and Michael and everybody on this team that's really been able to help me grow. So I want to thank you guys for that. I've had a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing the same thing with you next year, Ryan.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Nick. I was in need for a color commentator once again. Wyatt James, he was my color commentator. Unfortunately, he could not fulfill that requirement anymore. But, Nick, you have done a tremendous job, better than I thought you would have been able to even dream of becoming as a color commentator with me, as a commentator next to me. So it's just been great. You've been with us on road games, on home games. So thank you very much for being with us. It is a pleasure to have you on here, and I hope we have a great season coming up with the basketball. And it's just a tremendous time. I mean, this is my second time going around with us here at the webcast on the Moorpark Raider live stream for football. So it's just been a great team. Last year we had a great team. This year we have a great team once again. So we are just building in this program. So it just has been a great time. And it also can't end better than this. You have sophomore night, a 25-point victory for Moorpark. You get it on Veterans Day weekend, and you have this incredible team coming together and putting together a great product. So thank you very much for everybody that helps us out. Vance Manicus, Athletic Director, Vern Veg, so basically the leader of everything we do here for the broadcasting, also with sponsors. Michael Grimes, our film, television, media director, our production manager here at Moorpark College. Everybody that's helped us with the camera team, everybody that's helped us with being technical director. We've had so many people come here and help us with this whole entire program that we put together. So thank you very much, and thank you for helping us have a great season. So once again, everybody, thank you very much for tuning into your Raider fifth quarter locker room post-game show. For everybody that's helped us out, including Nick Federico, my color commentator analyst, my name is Ryan Ketchum, and we'll see you next time on the Moorpark Raider live stream.